Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Welcome to the KillJoy Jake YouTube channel. Sit on down, grab yourself a good old nasty beverage. Why'd I say it nasty beverage? Have something with, like, shit floating in the top of it. That's a nasty beverage, in my opinion. But welcome on in. Take your shoes off if you don't mind, and have a delicious beverage instead of a nasty one. Sit on down, let's talk a little bit about horror movies. It's been a week! What a week for news. If you guys haven't noticed, Jake hasn't stopped uploading on this page. Dear God. It's just nuts. It's a nutty week. Like, Crystal Lake got canceled, got uncanceled. Brian Fuller left the project. What's going on with that? I don't even know. Jake's got to drink his definitely coffee in my Ghostface mug and nothing else. It's been a long week, though. That's just one of the many stories I'm excited to talk about tonight, though, because we have a lot. I couldn't even get through the update video I was making for today. There were so many big updates from today. So tomorrow, you guys are going to see a big old nasty video, which I'm very excited for you guys to see. Just talking about some updates. Horror and also fantasy movies. What? Jake's talking about fantasy movies now? What's up with that? Oh yeah, you know it. And maybe a Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes review video at some point this weekend. I don't know. I haven't had time to see it yet, but at some point I'm going to see it. Just like Mary here, who's going to see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes literally right now. Nice! What's up, Mary? How you doing? I hope you have fun at the movie. Enjoy it. It's getting some pretty good reviews. Not like, 10 out of 10s, but I've been seeing some like 8s, some 7s floating around there. I love Planet of the Apes. It is one of my favorite movie series ever. We also just got the announcement that this is the 4th of 9 movies. Let me say that again. The 4th of 9 Planet of the Apes movies, ladies and gentlemen. That's insane. How are we not freaking out about that? I am. I love me some monkeys and I love me some movies, man. So let's go. Planet of the Apes 5. What is this? Is this like the 10th one? This is the 9th or 10th one, I believe. And then we're getting 5 more after that. Crazy, Mary. Why did I say Mara? It's not even, is that a name? Mara Rooney. Well, enjoy the movie. Have a good time. Villain Killer Dylan, what's up, my friend? What's up? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being a KillJoy cult member. I appreciate the heck out of you, Dylan. Thanks for being here. Garrett Peck is saying howdy to Dylan. Very kind of you, Garrett, to say hello to VKD. Welcome in. Thanks for being a cult member as well, Garrett. RJ Skorenki is saying, so excited to talk some Scream 7 on a Friday night. Throw it at me, RJ. Throw your Scream thoughts at me. We haven't had too many updates lately. Not even a rumor. Nary a rumor. Isn't that crazy? I can't even believe that, honestly. I feel like it's every 2 seconds that someone's coming up with some Scream 7 rumor. So nothing this week. All this big news and no Ghostface talk. It's crazy stuff. Scott Walker saying, hey, Jake, how you going? You know how Matthew will say they don't need him? But I think he'll be in Scream. He'll keep it under wraps. It'll be the same thing that, to what, like, Tobey Maguire did for Spider-Man. You reckon? Could be the case, man. I mean, I'm not going to rule it out. I'm not crazy about the idea. You guys know that. I've gone on that rant plenty of times. But I wouldn't rule out the idea of Matthew Lillard returning for Scream 7. I've talked about this a lot. I do feel like Scream 7 is going to do everything in its power to be attractive to the fans. Be the sexiest Scream movie out there. And that might mean, in the studio's head, to bring Matthew Lillard back as Ghostface. I mean, however your thoughts and feelings are on Matthew Lillard, Stu Macher as Ghostface. I know the majority of you love him. I do too. He's my favorite Ghostface. I love him to death. Hell, I don't even think I would be that upset if he came back. And that's kind of, I think, the biggest reason why they might do it. I don't know. I don't really want it to happen. I like the idea of getting a new Ghostface every single movie personally, but I don't know if I'd be too upset if I saw Matthew Lillard back on the big screen. That's kind of half the reason I'm not that upset with Five Nights at Freddy's, if I'm being real, so. Darth, what's up, dog? How's it going? Let's get cracking. Let's get crack-a-lackin', dog. Welcome in. Appreciate you for hanging out on a Friday night. All Media Alchemy is saying, what's going on, my brother? What's up, dude? How you doing? Welcome in. Appreciate you for hanging out. TJ Sanders, thanks for being a cult member, dude. Appreciate the heck out of you. Good evening. Happy Friday. Haven't heard any news about Scream 7. I was just saying that. Nothing. Not a whole lot this week. It's been dead. Radio silence. That was a bad joke. Yeah, don't laugh at that. That was just bad. Yeah, no, crazy. Not a whole lot about Scream 7 this week. We got a lot of news, though. I mean, there's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. Like I said, Crystal Lake, a lot of drama around that. A lot of drama around the new Lord of the Rings movie, too, which personally, I'm very excited for that. I just love the Lord of the Rings movies. They're my favorite of all time. That original trilogy, I don't know, nothing beats it. It's so good. So I'm excited to see this new one. Little drama, though, around this new film, which is going to be centered on the character of Gollum. Warner Bros. Took down a fan film that was based on similar material that they're working with this new movie. And I think that's really weird. Warner Bros. Has a history of doing this as well, and I'm going to detail that in an update video tomorrow. You guys might not care. I know we got a lot of Scream fans out in the audience, but Lord of the Rings is like, it's been my shit since I was a kid. Very excited to talk a little bit about that on the channel, finally. So it's exciting. It's an exciting time, an evolution, one might say, of the horror channel into fantasy. Mr. Rick, thanks for being a cult member. Love the red right hand profile picture. See, me and Mr. Rick, we're on the same page. I love it. I love it, dog. What's up? What's up? Good evening, hot take. I watched Founders Day. Kind of liked it. Goofy and silly, kind of figured out the killers, but still enjoyed it, surprisingly. I'm so sorry, Mr. Rick. Founders Day is at the very, very bottom of my rankings this year. I just was not crazy about it. It didn't do it for me at all. I'm so sorry, my friend, but I'm so glad that you enjoyed it and you found some fun in there. Because Mr. Rick, that makes me very happy. I love when people enjoy horror movies. Doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck what my opinion is. I'm just some asshole who likes movies. That doesn't matter. I like that you guys like movies too. And that makes old Jake happy. So keep watching horror movies. Keep enjoying those weird little flicks out there. Jason Carpenter, thank you for being a cult member. Appreciate you, dude. Jake saw Abigail in theaters yesterday for the 4th time. Best movie of 2024. Another comment I absolutely love. Jason, hell yeah, dog. I'm so glad you saw it in the theaters 4 times, too. You're making up for some of the people that didn't show up at the theaters, which makes old Jake sad. And I don't like being sad. So, Jason, you make me happy. Thank you for seeing Abigail in the theaters as many times as you did. A very good movie that deserved our support more than we, unfortunately, couldn't make it out to the theater as much. The movie kind of flopped, which is a shame, because Abigail, I'm with Jason here. I think it was one of the better movies of the year so far. I loved it, had a great time with it. I'm excited to see more from Radio Silence in the future. Horror Den, what's up, my friend? How you doing? Long time no see. Haven't been here in a hot minute. Hope everyone's well. Let's talk some horror. Oh, we're already there, Horror Den. We're not even 10 minutes into this ish, and we going. So welcome in, man. Thanks for being here. I see Logan here as well. What's up, Logan? How you doing, man? Just saw the new trailer for In a Violent Night, and I'm so excited for it. Looks insane, especially our main character being the killer, and we get to see it from their perspective. I love it, dude. I love it. I'm very excited. I can't wait. I see we got ourselves a big ol' super chat, so I wanted to get up to that. What's up, my friend? How you doing? MM Garza, 1997. This meta AI, it can help you make oh god, oh man. See, I thought we were friends, I thought we were vibing, and then you start talking about AI, and then I check out. I'm sorry, man. I made a story of Friday the 13th when the final girl who survived Jason gets put on a stretcher. As soon as the doors close, the ambulance drives off. The girl begins crying, what? Hands over? I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to get at here, man. Listen, if you write a story, that's fucking awesome. But if you go to ChatGPT, you type in, write me a Friday the 13th story, that's not really you writing a story. I hate to break it to you. So many people are like, oh, I can write my own stories now without having to do any of the work. That sucks. You know, that kind of sucks, my friend. I'm not crazy about it. I do appreciate the $20, thank you. But unfortunately, AI, just not the move, man. This is a very anti-AI page. I'm not crazy about it. I feel like it's taken away from the real people who do have great stories to tell. I think there's a lot of folks out there who think that Hollywood can't come up with original stories anymore. That's just because they see only the mainstream stuff. They don't watch the indie stuff that fucking rocks. I keep telling y'all about it. Some of y'all just don't want to go watch it. You can only, tell a horse that there's water in a pond somewhere, but you can't make him drink. Is that how it goes? I think so. But point being, I appreciate the $20, my friend. Thank you so much. But big middle fingers out to AI. Thank you again. Thank you. Anyways, let's get back to it. TBH, why isn't there The Thing movie? Why isn't there a new one, if that's what you're saying? I'm with you, dude. We've been getting reports, I want to say like every couple of years or so, at least since I've been doing this, where John Carpenter will start talking about wanting to do another one, and nothing, man. Not a whole lot with it, which makes me sad. I don't know if there's any movement going on with it now, but I remember I think the last time we were talking about a new The Thing movie was sometime last year. John Carpenter had said something about like wanting to do another one, maybe having another filmmaker attached to the project or something. I don't know, man. I'm with you, though. I hope we get another one at some point. I think that would be really cool. That'd be a cool franchise to have, I think. with how good that first movie is. I think there's a lot of people out there who would love to see that become a franchise because it is one of the most popular horror movies of all time. I know a lot of people who would say that's their absolute favorite across the board. So, Evan, what's going on, man? How you doing? Yo, Evan from Rockland Graves Productions. My dude is blowing up in the horror scene right now. Couldn't be more proud of the guy. Fucking deserves it too. His content fucking rocks. You should go subscribe to him. Evan's awesome. I love him. I gotta have him on the page sometime too. We couldn't get our schedules to line up this past Wednesday, unfortunately, but he will be on the page sometime soon to talk horror. I love it. I love it, man. Evan's very excited for the new Strangers Chapter 1, as am I, and I can't wait to see it. Very excited. Antonis is saying actually a lot of indie movies are bad acting, low budget, but a lot of them are good too. You're gonna get bad movies no matter where you go, Antonis. That's what I'll tell you right now. Even a lot of blockbusters out there I think are really good, but there are some stinkers too. I'm hearing Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes fucking rocks though, so that makes me happy. But dude, indie horror movies, that's the way to go nowadays, I would say. Indie movies in general, I typically tend to like more than the bigger budget ones. Just in my field, but maybe that's a pretentious take. Ty Lee is saying have Fede Alvarez do a Thing movie. Hey, let him cook with Alien first, okay? I'm with you, Ty. Trust me, I'm very much with that. Fede is one of the most underrated people in the scene right now, and I feel like this new Alien is finally gonna shed some more light on the guy. But let him cook with Alien. Let him cook for right now. But then I think his next thing, I would love to see him do the Thing. Look at that. I'm with you, Ty. Run it though. Fede Alvarez doing a Thing movie. I'd cream my pants. I probably shouldn't say that live on the internet, but I just did, so here we are. Antonio Miller, what's up, dog? How you doing? Say hashtag save Ukraine, I love it. Will David Leitch direct The Purge 6? I don't, who? Is this an update that I missed? Antonio? What? Shit. It's a really interesting director to do The Purge 6, if that's an update I missed, though. I have not been looking at it for the past couple of hours. I've been editing a video on other updates. So many updates today, it's crazy. I know The Purge 6 is happening for those out there who are like, is that even a thing? What's going on with that? James DeMonico, franchise creator, has confirmed that yes, a 6th Purge movie is on the way. Are we into that? Are we not into that? I don't know. Forever Purge, not my bag. I'm not gonna lie. I was not crazy about that last one. But some of the Purge movies are fun. I'm not like the biggest fan of that franchise, but like I really like 2 and 3. 2 and 3 I thought rocked. And is it Ethan Hawke that's in the first one? I love Ethan Hawke. Come on now, what's wrong with that? RJ is saying, would you watch a Lord of the Rings horror movie where Gollum turns into the devil of Mordor and tells Frodo, welcome, what? And tells Frodo, welcome to Mordor. I wish I could do his voice, but I can't. I tried to do it for today's video, couldn't get it, couldn't make it happen. But I'm very much so into more Lord of the Rings, especially with Peter Jackson being involved with every step of the way. That makes me very happy. Very excited to see him do some more with it, because I feel like he's kind of the only one that can make good Lord of the Rings just material in general. We've seen it come from some other folks who ghosted Peter Jackson, and that makes old Jake very, very sad. Maybe even stepping into some mad territory there. That's just crazy. If Peter Jackson was interested in working on my project, I would just be like, let's run it, dude. Let's listen. Let's make this thing happen. I'm all about it. TJ saying, I hope I get better understanding about the Friday the 13th rumors. Yeah, so TJ, just to clarify that, we had a third-party source come out and say that Crystal Lake had been canceled. That was not true. Kind of some bad reporting there, not gonna lie. Got the horror community up in arms. But what I can tell you is that, thankfully, Bloody Disgusting, we love them to death. Hugs and kisses to the Bloody Disgusting crew of folks out there. Wow, I'm stuttering so bad tonight. Sorry. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. They have confirmed to us that, yes, it is still happening. Friday the 13th, Crystal Lake series, we're going. We're running it. We're making it happen. We're going to see Pamela's story, damn it. I think they're just retooling things, is how Bloody Disgusting words it, and then Brian Fuller tells us that he's no longer attached to the project either. So there's something happened. You know, something happened behind the scenes. Some creative differences is what I'm guessing. And now we're just going to have to see what comes next. We're kind of just waiting for the next update. We're on a bit of a cliffhanger. Who's going to handle Jason? Who's going to make this series actually happen? And I'm with Rick here. Can't wait to see what Vincent DeSanti does next. I'm hoping Crystal Lake. No, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, that'd be so cool. Vincent DeSanti, for those who don't know, is from Womp Stomp. He made the Never I almost said the Never the Hike Alone. The Never Hike Alone film franchise, bunch of fan films based on the Friday the 13th property. I am a happy contributor to those films as well. Threw a couple bucks their way to make that happen. It was like $40, so I'm not saying like I funded the movie or anything like that, but I'm a very, 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 very small fraction of what made that movie happen. So, wow, that was arrogant, wasn't it? Goddamn. Oh, we got another super chat from Garza 1997. What's up, dog? Hello again. Can you redeem yourself with this second super chat? Let's see it. Thank you for the $10 though. I do appreciate it. I love Bailey Madison in The Strangers Pray at Night when she was on the pickup truck, hit the man in the mask with a bat. The way she screams and cries out loud. It's scary shit, man. I love Pray at Night. Okay, you're redeeming yourself. I like this super chat. I can rock and roll with this one. Here we go. She is fantastic. The lead in Pray at Night, for those who have not seen it. I personally really like it. We were talking about it on Wednesday with the Splattercast guys about why. So I think it was Luke specifically from Splattercast who was not crazy about that one, and I get why. It's a bit of a deviation from what makes the first movie so great. It's not, it kind of loses that like voyeuristic perspective. It's more of like a stylistic slasher. Nothing wrong with that in my opinion. I vibe with those. Feels a little more 80s where the first one feels a little more 70s. I can get into that. I'm all about that personally. I'm almost kind of hoping that chapter 1, 2, and 3 almost feels a little more 90s. I'm not gonna lie. Or maybe even getting into some modern feeling stuff. I'm here for it. But I love Pray at Night for totally different reasons than the first movie. And I think, I don't know, I think they're both great for totally different reasons. Even though I think I prefer the original The Strangers just because it scares the fuck out of me. Where the second movie is just more like, this is a wild, fun ride. Like, I love going down this journey. Maybe even a little more than the first film. So, second one's more fun than the original. The original's more scary than the sequel. That's kind of what it comes down to in my mind, at least. That's a really, maybe a very, very crazy generalization. But I still like both movies for totally different reasons. Nothing wrong with that. It's just like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. I love that first movie because it's scary as fuck. And I love the second movie because it's goofy as fuck. So I'm with you, Garza. Love the leads in Strangers Pray at Night. I wonder if they pop up in chapters 1, 2, and 3. Little secrets there. You know, maybe this is a secret prequel trilogy, which some of us have been theorizing about. I love that. I love it a lot. So, dude, thank you for the $10. Thank you for the $20 too. Appreciate you. Stay away from the AI though. That's old Killjoy Jake's advice. Noah gives Forever Purge a 7 out of 10. Okay, fair enough. It wasn't for me personally, but I'm glad that you kind of enjoy it. Like 70% enjoy it. Hell yeah, Noah. Welcome in, dude. Appreciate you. Fernie is saying, yo, run it. Is that you playing guitar in your profile picture, dude? That's sick. I love it. I love it a lot. I play every now and then. Got the old Jackson in the background there. I haven't touched it much recently, but I promise I'm getting to it. I'm going to start practicing soon. But I love it. What's up, Fernie? Welcome in, man. Appreciate you for being here. Scott's asking about Scream 7. What are the chances that it's going to be a two-parter? I've been there. It's a very high chance. I'm trying to see what you're saying here. Did look for clues for Stu being alive, and in part 2 he reveals himself as the killer. So it's going to be a two-parter where you don't know who the killer is the first time around, but in the second one, that's when the big reveal comes. I don't hate that idea. I remember when Scream 6 was coming out, I was pitching the idea of what if they did like some kind of cliffhanger. That would be really fun, I think. Like the idea of you don't know who it is, you're left on this cliffhanger, and then the next movie's coming. In this age where we get 3 movies back to back to back like this too, I feel like that's possible in the Scream realm. I wouldn't be against that personally. We just got the announcement. I said this earlier, but I'm saying it again because it works at this point. We just got the announcement today that they're making 5 more Planet of the Apes movies, ladies and gentlemen. 5, count them. 5 more. And that's not including Kingdom. That's in theaters right now. 5 more of these fucking movies are coming out. That's awesome. Me personally, I love that. I love Planet of the Apes, so I'm here for it. But you know, I can see franchises like Scream potentially doing something similar. You know, if they can avoid the drama, which seems to be an impossibility. But hey, who knows? Who knows what the future holds for Scream 8, for Scream 9, for Scream 10? Because it'll probably happen. It's a popular franchise. So who knows? Locked, what's up, my friend? How you doing? Good to see you. It's been a minute. While we wait for Friday the 13th, officially, go watch Womp Stomp's movies. Better than most of the franchise. Hard to disagree there, man. Never Hike Alone rocks. And I think my favorite thing about it is the emotional angle with the characters. The characters in the Womp Stomp movies are better than most of the characters in the actual films, which is crazy. It's also not like the hardest competition either. I'll say that much. But I love it. I think they did a very good job at writing good and emotional characters. A lot of them are considered like legacy characters too, which I think is cool from the actual franchise. We have Tom Matthews in there, kind of leading them, especially that second one, especially leading that one. I love it. I just love all those movies. It's a great story. Honestly, it's the Friday requel story I never knew I needed. And it's great. It's excellent stuff, so. All media is saying the Never Hike Alone series blows a lot of the mainstream stuff. I thought you were saying it blows, and then I was like, oh, here we go. Little cliffhanger there. It blows a lot of the mainstream stuff from the Friday the 13th franchise, not gonna lie. Blows a lot of it out of the water, I guess is what you're saying. Fuck yeah. I'm honestly kind of with you there. If I had to rank both of those movies like in my rankings, they would absolutely be towards the top. Evan is saying, I loved Pray at Night. Man, it's so vibey. It's so vibey. You can just put that on and have a blast with it any time of day. I'm so with you there, dude. Brandon Wezza! What's up, Home Slice? How you doing, man? Welcome in, Brandon. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Blows. Oh, I see the correction. There you go. Blows a lot of the mainstream stuff out of the water. I didn't even see that. That's on me, dog. But I appreciate you. I agree. I agree, too. Never Hike Alone rocks. Rotting Prince is saying, howdy, Jake. Hope you're doing well. I am fantastic. It's a Friday night. It's the end of the week. I'm chilling out, man. It's great. I've been thinking about drawing Leatherface because he's my special flesh-eating Pookie Bear from hell. I love this. I love this a lot. I love that description of Leatherface. That's exactly what I'm thinking when I'm watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre. God, I just want to snuggle that guy. But funny shit. I love it. I love it. Draw him, make it your profile picture. I'll put it up on the big screen. I'll be live for probably 2 hours. So that's how long you got. You got like an hour and a half. Run it. Oh, that's you on stage. Oh, even better. Sick. Do you have a band, Fernie? Pitch it. Throw it out there. We'll give a little shout out to you. Get your Instagram page some followers, or maybe you're just vibing. Maybe you just got a band. I don't know what's up. Throw it out there though. I want to know more. I'm curious. We should do a jam stream. We should jam. Evan is also musically inclined. We should. I would love to. I'm very rusty. I'll tell you that. I've been kind of focusing more on YouTube lately. But damn, I'd love to. I'd love to try my best. I'm into it, dude. I'm into it. That'd be so fun. Ugh. I like Scream and Ice Cream is saying, do you think The Strangers Chapter 1 or In a Violent Night or In a Violent Nature? I'm thinking Violent Night. Damn it. Which one will be better? It's really tough because like I love The Strangers, so I know I'm going to be geeking out a little bit about that movie. But In a Violent Nature, it looks fucking sick, man. I don't know. I feel like the kills and the intensity are going to be better in A Violent Nature. But I feel like I'm going to dig some of the story elements that Strangers Chapter 1 sets up for the future of that little trilogy. Because I'm really excited about Chapters 2 and Chapters 3, maybe even more than Chapter 1. It's almost like a Dune scenario where it's like this first movie feels like we kind of got to sit through that to get to the good stuff. It's kind of where I am mentally, but I'm here for it. I'm willing to go through this movie. That's going to feel a lot like the original probably, if it means we get to see like something really fresh, really new in Chapters 2 and Chapter 3. So I'm excited. I'm really excited, but I think I am leaning a little more towards In a Violent Nature. I'm really excited for that one. It looks really good. Antidus is throwing $10 out there. Dude, thank you so much for the support. Again, appreciate you guys. Y'all are being very generous tonight. It does mean a lot to old Jake. Thank you, thank you. Are you going to see The Strangers Chapter 1 on opening night next Friday? Yes. And you know, I should clarify this, right? Because I saw Tarot, didn't really do a review of it. And I'll kind of say why. What I'm realizing is I kind of want to just focus on a couple of movies a month. Jake's usual MO was to be like, oh, I'm gonna cover like every horror movie that comes out. That's crazy. Like, I just simply can't do that. You know what I mean? That's crazy. I want to be able to cover and do a review video of everything, but I just can't. So I'm kind of focusing on like whatever like I'm the most excited about in a month, which right now is The Strangers Chapter 1 and In a Violent Nature for this month. Those are the two that I'm like very hyped up about as a huge Strangers fan and a huge Friday the 13th fan. Very excited to see both of those movies. So I'm that's kind of why I've been covering Strangers Chapter 1 very closely. Like you guys have probably noticed in the update videos, every time there's a Strangers Chapter 1 update, I'm on that shit. You know, I'm getting that in there. Same with in a Violent Nature. I keep wanting to say Violent Night. I'm like, that's a movie I covered before, but nah, that's not it, dog. So, yes, I'm very excited for it. You guys will see a review next Friday. In a week, you'll see a review for it. And when do you think we will finally get a new Friday the 13th movie? Because didn't both creators make peace recently in court? Not really make peace, unfortunately. It's more like a handshake. Hey, we know we can make money from this property, so let's go our separate ways and do that. So, yes, they did resolve things in court, which, thank God, you know, we're past that now. For those who don't know, that was between the original director and the original writer of the first Friday the 13th movie. Sean Cunningham and what's Victor Miller was the other guy. So Victor Miller was working on Crystal Lake, and then Sean Cunningham was said to be working on a movie, but we haven't gotten any updates on that at all, so who knows if that's still happening. But is there a new movie happening? Like I said, there was some kind of rumblings of Sean Cunningham working on something with his little horror company, but I don't know. Nothing. We haven't heard anything about it since, which is a real shame, because I would love to see Jason on the big screen again. I'm dying for it. As a Friday fan, I want to see it very soon here. So, Antidus, if something happens, you know your boy will be covering it. I'm hoping for something. I want to see Jason on the big screen again. As much as I am excited for Crystal Lake, see Pamela's story, that's cool and all, but I want to see Jason. I want to see Jason killing people, first and foremost. Win me over with some of that shit, then tell me the weird Pamela story you got cooking up. I'm here for both, but that's just my thoughts on the matter. Antidus, thank you for the $10, my friend. Love your Chucky profile picture, by the way, if I haven't already said that. Spencer Johnson is with us. What's up, Spence? How you doing, man? If anyone's gonna kill Sydney, it's got to be Stu. I love how you're just coming out the gate with that. Hell yeah, dog. Just because they scrapped that script doesn't mean he's not still alive. So Stu was not part of the Kevin Williamson like Scream 3 pitch. I know so many people say that, but it's not actually 100% confirmed. But what I will say is that, you know, there has been talks about that for the longest time, about Stu coming back. It's been a popular fan theory since people saw Matthew Lillard in the background of Scream 2, pretty much. So, could it happen? I mean, it's a possibility with how popular the fan theory is, with how badly the studio wants to win fans back with Scream 7. You absolutely would win a side of the fan base over if they were to do that. So, I don't know. Will it happen? I'm kind of against it. Personally, I just feel like it ruins the minutia of what makes Scream work so well, which is the murder mystery element. And this isn't a Scream 6 where we're trying to deviate and try to do something else. We're clearly going for like a back to basics, more like traditional style Scream movie with this one. We have Sidney Prescott in the lead role. We have Kevin Williamson directing this one. I just think like they're trying to go for your back to basics Scream movie, which I know some people are super thrilled about. Some people fucking hated Scream 6. I respect the opinion, but I had a good time with it. Whatever Scream 7 ends up being, I hope it's something overall the fans love. You know what I mean? Because now I'm seeing so many people just hating on Scream 6. They hate it. They can't stand it. They're like, this movie's terrible. I hate it. And that makes me sad because I want Scream fans to be happy overall. Yurdy G is here with us tonight. What's up, man? How's it going? What if in The Strangers Chapter 1, Tamara is the ex-girlfriend of Sackboy? Sackboy from Little Big Planet, and she fucked him over by cheating. Boom! There's your motive. Let me ask the Strangers fans in the audience, would that be satisfying? I don't know. We are going to learn who Tamara is. It was really funny on my during my discussion on Wednesday talking about the first Strangers film, the Splattercast guys were not excited to learn who Tamara is. I kind of am. The biggest thing I don't want to know about the Strangers is like who they are, why they're doing what they're doing. That's my big thing. I don't care about knowing like little minute details like that. It's not like the biggest thing for me. I'm not like, that's the reason I'm seeing Chapter 1 either. But if we learn about that, cool. I hope they don't spell out everything there is to know about the Strangers. And then it's like, okay, that's it. No more mystery. No more fun to be had. That would make Jake sad. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. Will Sackboy from Little Big Planet be in there too? Well, we'll just have to see. Anything's possible with new movies, and that's why they excite me. Big Chiller's with us. What's up, dog? I see you're a fall guy from your profile picture. This summer, I want to write a script for a vampire film without any AI bullshit. I love ya. I love ya. I love ya. So much love. My heart just grew 3 sizes bigger because of that comment. Do you have any suggestions to making it fucking awesome? Writing a script is tough, man. You know, writing it is very tough. It's not an easy thing to do. I would recommend just like taking a writing course, honestly. That's what I did. I'm so not kidding. I wrote the script to Red Right Hand with no fucking knowledge, like absolutely no idea what I was doing. I'm like, I'm just gonna write a script, see what happens, and then I made a movie. It was crazy. It was absolutely just almost stupid, ambitious, and I let my hubris kind of get the best of me a little bit with that one. So moving forward, I'm like, I gotta be a little more prepared when I do these projects. I took a writing class. I learned a little more about just how to do how to creatively write, I guess, is kind of is a thing. And there's so many basics that you might not even think about. You know what I mean? That there's little things where you're like, oh, I didn't even think to do that. That's a great idea. Like that's so awesome. So start there. Honestly, I think that's such a good piece of advice. Do your research. Come up with just an overall concept before you even start writing the script. You know, you can't just pull up the fucking program or whatever and be like, okay, I'm going to start writing an awesome screenplay. You know what I mean? That's just not how it works. Take a writing class, learn a little bit about the form, about doing all of it and shit, and then run it. Then make it happen. Have your idea thought out before you even hit the page. You know, there's a lot you got to do before you actually sit down and write. I guess is a big piece of advice I'll give you. Kyle Scumberg is joining us as well. What's up, dude? How you doing? Good evening, Jake. Last night I got to see that 2022 movie. Talk to me. Have you seen it? It was really good. An Australian horror movie. I hope they make another one. They are making another one. What is your thoughts on it? I love Talk to Me. One of my favorite horror movies from last year. Very good film. They are making a sequel, which is coming out at some point in the future. Who knows? Because the same people behind that movie, the Rocka Rocka guys from YouTube here, are working on another A24 movie at the moment, which is currently going into production. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it is a different A24 horror film. But they are still working on Talk to Me, which is the fucking name of the sequel. Hilarious. I love it. But I'm excited, man. I can't wait. I can't wait to see the sequel to Talk to Me. I loved the first one. The ending of that movie, which I won't spoil for those who haven't seen, it's still relatively new and a little more indie, so I don't expect everyone to have seen it. It's terrifying. I think it's like one of the most creepy endings to a horror movies in recent memory, and that it really stuck with me. Characters were great too. Felt like the characters were like spitting images of high school characters, which most horror movies don't get right, in my opinion. Talk to Me does. Like, Talk to Me is like, that's exactly how my high school experience was. Bam. Like, that was great. That was 10 out of 10. Couldn't have done it better. So, Luddy Network, thank you so much for the $2, man. I appreciate you. Better late than never. Hashtag KJJ, hashtag #1. I love you, dog. I love you. Thank you, Luddy Network. Appreciate you. Luddy's awesome, guys. I don't know if you know too much about him. He's been in the streams a lot, but he's fantastic. He sent me a flamethrower in the mail. A fucking flamethrower. It's hilarious. I gotta use it. I gotta make a video with it or something because it's fucking cool. But thank you, man. Really appreciate you. Appreciate your support for the page too. He's supporting my Patreon and all that. Fucking love Luddy. He's amazing. Thank you, man. Thanks for the $2. Appreciate the hell out of you. I just saw the other comment. Yo, I made it. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, man. Happy Friday. Love it. I Like Screaming Ice Cream is asking an excellent question, something I have been thinking about making a video about. Could you see In a Violent Nature getting its own franchise? If the film is as good as I think it's going to be, yes. Like, I'm so down for that. I will say we have some people in the creative side of things from In a Violent Nature talking about how this is kind of like a standalone film. It's its own thing. But I don't know, man. I mean, it's given off some franchise material. And with no Friday the 13th movie in sight, really, why not? You know, why the fuck not? Give us our camp counselor killing spree movie, basically. I'm here for it. I'm very here for it. So In a Violent Nature, getting its own franchise, yes, that checks all the right boxes in my opinion. Run it! I love that comment. It's a great comment. Very good stuff. Did I end up seeing Dylan's New Nightmare? Yeah, Dylan's New Nightmare was really interesting. I wish it was, I just wish it was longer. It's a fan film, though. You know what I mean? How can I knock it for that? I wish there was more to it, but it was shot really well, performed really well. Dave McRae's amazing as Freddy Krueger. Holy shit. I love his YouTube channel, but I also love his acting, too, which is, God, guy's at least a double threat. Maybe he can dance, too. Maybe that too. That's crazy, but he's amazing. Dave McRae is easily one of my biggest inspirations for this channel. That unfortunately I don't talk about him enough, which I think he's criminally underrated in the horror scene. He's great. His live streams are amazing. I'm not gonna lie, biggest inspiration for me in terms of wanting to go live all the time and talk horror. It's because of him. So Dave McRae's amazing. He's a legend. Love him. Great dude. My man's getting the old Superman curl. I am, dude. Hair's getting long. Hair's getting crazy long. I got to do something about it. I kind of like it, though. I kind of like when it gets like to this length, but any longer, it just gets annoying. Not crazy about it. I used to have long hair in high school. It was disgusting. It was horrible. Horrible, man. Evan is saying, I'm worried about them explaining anything, really. The ambiguity is so important for those killers. Regarding The Strangers Chapter 1, I agree. They're going to have to explain some stuff, though. I mean, we're already, we're hearing Rennie Harlan talk about, like, the whole point of these movies is we're going to see the backstory of the Strangers. That immediately had me worried, Evan. Like, I'm so with you. Like, I think that's what makes that original movie so terrifying, is the fact that this just happens to a random couple. It's like, what? What the fuck? And there's no rhyme or reason to it. You can't plead with these people. You can't tell them to stop. There's nothing you can do to wiggle your way out of that situation. No, it's just, this is happening, and it's over. It's a tragedy. I think that's what I love so much about The Strangers. That's what I love so much about Hereditary, is it's like, this is a disaster that is just unfolding before you. Like, there's no, like, escaping it like a typical Hollywood horror movie. Oh, no. Like, this is just, you're just watching the spider crawl down the web towards its victim, if that makes sense. That's what The Strangers is. That's what Hereditary is. That's why I love these movies. They're terrifying. They might give you some false sense of hope at different points in time, but there really never was any, which is the best part about both of those movies, in my opinion. So as long as they can keep that alive throughout chapters 1, 2, and 3, while maybe, talking about some of the side shit, sure, fuck it, whatever. Explain who Tamara is. I don't give a fuck. But if you explain why the killers are doing what they're doing, if you explain who they are, if you give me every last detail about, when the last time Dollface took a shit, I don't want to know. I definitely don't want to know that last thing, but I don't know. I'm so with you, Evan. Keep the ambiguity alive. So important. Ty Lee, this is the only Psycho film I have not seen, Psycho 4. I know it's a prequel where it's about, like, right? Am I right about this? It's like Norman Bates when he's young. I have not seen it. I've seen Psychos 1, 2, 3, the shot-for-shot remake as well. Believe it or not, I've only seen that one once. But Psycho 4 is the only one I haven't seen. I believe it was a straight-to-TV movie, too, I want to say. I need to watch it. I'm not going to lie. I have a few blind spots in those really popular franchises. I learned only 2 years ago that there was multiple Psycho movies, too. And I watched 2 and 3, like, back to back. And I'm like, these are really good. Psycho 2 and 3, like, actually, I highly recommend them. Really interesting movies. Garrett Peck is saying, I'm not sure if In a Violent Nature is setting itself up as a franchise. The problem I'm worried about is the victims won't have enough characterization for the film to be scary. That's a really good point you bring up there, because it was something I was thinking about too. I'm like, if this is going to be from the perspective of the killer, are we going to care when the characters die? Well, we got a new trailer today, which I bring exactly this point up, Garrett. I wish I could have gotten that video out today. Apologies. It was the update video. It's the longest update video I've done in a while. It's like probably going to be 12, 13, 14 minutes when I get it all cut and done. There's a lot to talk about this today. It was crazy. Point being, I talked a little bit about this new trailer that came out where they actually do highlight some of the other characters besides Johnny, and I thought it was interesting. It was like, oh, we got to hear some of their audio clips in this brand new trailer that just came out. They talk a little bit about kind of the lore too, which is like a cringe weird thing to say, but they talk about like the locket, which is from the plot description. That's like why Johnny has resurrected and starts killing all of the teen characters that he's going after. I keep saying camp counselors because I got Friday the 13th on the brain. Kind of hard to get that off of there when you're talking about In a Violent Nature, which is so inspired from Friday the 13th. So, I do believe we are going to know enough about the characters, though. Like I said, lots of sound bites of audio, specifically from the characters. They're actually talking about the massacre, the 60-year-old crime from the plot description that we already know about. So I have a feeling we're going to know enough about them, but it's not going to get to the point where, like in some of the Friday films, you're just spending too much time with them. You're sick of the characters. You're like, okay, Jason, let's get this going, man. Speed up a little bit. We know you walk slow, but get in there, stab these people already. I'm done. I'm done. Let's make it happen. So I understand the concern though. I feel you. I do feel you there. I hope they find a way to give enough characterization to their meat bags, if that makes sense. Ella, I don't know if I saw your comments earlier, Ella, and if I didn't say hi to you, I'm so sorry. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I think the way they handled grief was so great. Smile, on the other hand, not so much. Wasn't crazy about Smile. Is that what you're saying? Hell yeah, dog. Well, that's all good. I enjoyed Smile, but I totally understand the criticisms of it. If you didn't like it because you felt it was too similar to other things, I get that. Trust me. It is very similar to other things, but I vibed with it. Thought it was cool. Ella saying, what's good, Jake? What's good, chat? Anyone else melting with this weather right now? As you can see from how red my face is, yes. Yes. Thanks for being a KillJoy cult member. Appreciate you. Denisha is also with us as well. Thank you for being a mod tonight, Denisha. You're the best. We love you. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being a KillJoy cult member, too. Evan was saying, just stopping by on this one. Gonna go play Last of Us. Hell yeah, dude. Great stream as always, my dude. Evan, we're gonna get on a stream sometime. We're gonna talk some horror. I know you're probably not here anymore, but it's gonna happen. We're gonna make it happen. So, dude's update video, or dude's little video essays are great, by the way. Seriously, go check out his page. He's awesome. Dude rocks. Will there be children in Scream 7? Great question. We have rumors running amok, one might say, that suggests that Sydney is going to have her kids be like kind of not like main characters, but supporting cast probably. I imagine they're going to be like what Sydney is defending the entire time, which has me excited. It's going to be cool. Going to be cool stuff. Luddy Network throwing $5 out there. Thank you. Appreciate your support again, my friend. I don't want to see any backstory, nor explaining any part of the Strangers. Show me horror or give me death. Yeah, dude, I can't argue with that at all. I can't argue with that. I really can't, because I'm with you. I think that explaining even the littlest thing about the Strangers could result in some kind of misfire. Like I said, if they tell us who fucking Tamara is, whatever. I don't care. But if you start getting even deeper into that, that's when I'm going to start pointing fingers. That's when I'm going to start being what you doing, Rennie? What you doing, dog? Don't be ruining that ambiguity. I love that word, ambiguity. It almost sounds like there's a goo in there, I like the word goo. But no, dude, I feel you, man. Just make it good. Just make it good. Like, The Strangers is actually so simple. Like, when you fuck up The Strangers is when you overcomplicate it. Like, I would love to do a franchise continuation of The Strangers where it's just so simple. Like, just make it an unbelievably simple story where it's just about the Strangers going after some more people, and they're killing them for whatever fucking reason. It doesn't matter. That's what's so great about The Strangers. So I really hope they don't over-explain it. I'm so with you, Luddy. I've been so worried about that. You guys know I've been preaching it. Preaching with a capital P, that in some of my update videos. But again, Strangers Chapter 1, I think we got to bear with this one. I've been saying this for a while, but I think we got to bear with this one. Get through a movie that is essentially just basically a remake of the original, even though the director is saying it's not that. But I feel like it's going to be very similar to the Brian Bertino film, but maybe a little more stylized, a little more modern feeling. I hope it's good. I just hope it's good, man. I just hope it's good and we can get through that one and then get to the weirder stuff in part 2 and part 3. So we'll just have to see, Luddy. We'll have to see what they end up doing, man. I can't fucking wait. 1 week away, baby. I'm seeing it next Thursday. I already got my tickets. I'm so excited. Luddy, thank you for the $5, my friend. Enjoy The Strangers Chapter 1. Or don't. I hope you do, though. I really hope you do. Thank you for the 5. Appreciate you. What the fuck? I love Smile. I do love Smile, too. Smile was fun. VKD is saying it's a chat about movies. Doesn't necessarily need to be horror. And that's something I've realized recently. I've been so focused on talking about horror movies. I love them. It's my favorite genre of movies without a doubt. But there are other things I really like. Like, I fucking love fantasy movies. Lord of the Rings, like I said. Love those movies to death. They're great. So I really want to start opening up the page to some more of that shit. I'm also really excited for the new Superman. Maybe that's just me, but James Gunn doing Superman sounds like a match made in heaven, in my opinion. I'm not crazy about a lot of superhero movies. Like, a lot of them don't do it for me, but I love me some James Gunn superhero movies. Something about the Guardians, something about the Squad that I can't say the first name. You know what I'm talking about. The Blank Squad, Harley Quinn doing her. You already know what I'm talking about. Love those movies to death. They're great. All Media Alchemies got a peace out. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Have a happy Friday. Go vibe. Go have fun. I don't know, get a drink at the bar. Whatever you end up doing this Friday, have fun. Or stay sober. You know what? That's also good too. Also a very, very, very good thing. Whatever you end up doing, man, have fun with it. Evil Connor, thank you so much for supporting the page. I love the profile picture too. That's Final Destination 3, right? Mary Elizabeth Winstead, right? Am I right? If I'm right about that, I'm gonna lose my mind. That's crazy. Evil Connor saying, I don't want to know who Tamara is. That was totally some name the girl made up on the spot. She even pauses for a slight moment. Is Tamara home? Just like that. Evil Connor, I do feel that, man. I think it's just like, it's another one of those things. It's left purposefully ambiguous to build the mystery up. You know what I mean? Learning who Tamara is might defeat the point. I do feel you there. But I also, like, it's a small detail, so I don't give too much of a shit, I guess is my point. But yes, I am with you on the idea that if the whole goal of this trilogy is just to explain who Tamara is, just to explain who these three characters are, you have missed the point, without a doubt. So I do feel you there. So I get the walking on eggshells we're doing with that comment. I do. I very much so do. Cutting up some orange slices. Y'all want any? Yes. Can you email them to me? That would be so cool. Be so cool if you could email some orange slices my way. Sorry, I'm cursed. What's up, dog? Jake, favorite TCM movie? That's, I mean, I gotta go with the original, I think. I love the 2003 remake, but that original is just, it's perfection. I love it. You know what else is a really good one? I love 2. I think 2 is so great. It's so fucking hilarious. Chop Top is amazing. Like one of my favorite horror villains ever. Just, he's so crazy. He's also so unique, iconic. So many big words that I could describe that character, but I love him. I love Chop Top. I love Bill Moseley. It's my favorite horror character of his. Even, you know, from the Rob Zombie stuff too, because he's great in those movies as well, man. The Firefly trilogy, so good in those movies. But I don't know. I love it. Legion is saying he likes he or she, I don't, you know, whoever, saying, I like the song Trouble they put in the trailer. Cage of the Elephant fucking rocks. Absolutely love them. They got a new album on the way. Haven't been super crazy about the singles that they dropped. It wasn't bad, just nothing that I was super, you know, losing my mind about either. But I do love Cage of the Elephant. That album, too, Tell Me I'm Pretty, that Trouble is from, I think fucking rocks. That's a very, very underrated album from them, in my opinion. Very good stuff. They also have an album from like 2019. It's like Blue. I can't remember the name of it. Very good as well. It's like Social something. Can't remember off the top of my head. The Unalive Self Squad. That's funny. Yeah. See, that's what I gotta say. That's what YouTube will be okay with me calling it, right? That's funny. I love that, Dylan. Here we go. Locked is saying, from a non-horror POV, Planet of the Apes is my favorite franchise. No argument there. I love Planet of the Apes. The original, Escape, and the new trilogy are all wonderful. Also loved Kingdom. I love the first two. I'm with you. Love the first two. But I have a soft spot for the fourth one from the original series. I think the fourth movie is so interesting. It's very low budget. Like, the characters are very much so wearing rubber masks, and you can tell. But I love them. I think it's a really interesting movie. 3 and the fifth one, not great. But the fourth movie, man, I don't know. It's a really interesting concept. The monkeys are like enslaved and all this shit. It's crazy. Like, there's so much going on in that movie. I think it's a really interesting flick. I can't remember the name of it, which fucking sucks, but the fourth from the original run of the Planet of the Apes movies, so good. So very good. Antidus is throwing another $10 out there. Dude, thank you for the support, my friend. Appreciate you. And look at that. You got a Chucky question to go along with your profile picture. I dig it. When will another Chucky movie come out? Because Don Mancini said he has 3 movies in mind. Did I watch all of Chucky season 3? I'll get this out of the way. I did not watch Chucky season 3. I'm so sorry. I'm just not crazy about the show. I love the movies. I love what Don Mancini was able to do in the films specifically, but I don't know, man. It's like I think what I don't like about the show is like that it's made by sci-fi. Sci-fi shows are just not for me. Like, I just feel like they care so little about the story, and they care so much more about like just the we're gonna make the most ridiculous shit you've ever seen. And that's fun and all, but you gotta have an emotional story behind it, or I just don't care. That's my take on the Chucky show. I'm sorry. I don't care for the story. It's not written very well in my opinion, or at least it's not written very well for me. And for some people, they can really get into it. That's cool. And I'm happy that so many people enjoy it, but I'm really hoping for a new Chucky movie personally. I love Don Mancini. I love Jennifer Tilly. Fuck, I love everyone involved with that show. I want to like it. I really do, but it's just not my cup of tea. Doesn't really work for me. I don't really even find it that funny even, which sucks too. Cause sometimes I can laugh at shit, you know? Sometimes I can be like, okay, this is bad, but like, I'm having fun with it. I don't know, man. It bores me. Like, I'm just like, this just isn't for me. I love the movies to death, though. Like, Seed is like the only Chucky movie I don't rewatch often. And the show just feels like a continuation of Seed of Chucky, which is so weird to me, because like that has always, in my opinion, been the worst one. So I'm like, why are they focusing so heavily on that? You know, that's so wild to me. Don Mancini does love that movie, though. He loves Seed of Chucky to death. Same with Jennifer Tilly. So I think it's almost like they want to keep that energy going into a series. It's like, we've never been able to do that with the movies, so we're going to do it here. But also, maybe there's a reason why, you know, they weren't able to do that. Bring that full energy that they want, that full, like, just insane, nonsensical energy to the movies. You know, maybe there's a reason for that, I guess is my point. But, sorry. Let's move to your first question here. Again, will a new Chucky movie happen? Don Mancini has talked about it. You're very right. He's talked about having 3 movies in mind. I'm fucking here for it, man. I'm like, run it. Listen, I think he had to get that out of his system, the Chucky TV series, if that makes sense. Maybe it gets renewed for a 4th season. I know a lot of people are really hoping for that. And you know what? Honestly, I hope it does, because so many people love the Chucky show. I'm not really crazy about it, but like I said, if other folks out there are really enjoying it, especially Chucky fans, I see so many people out there who are just just singing its praises all the time. That's fucking awesome. I hope it gets a season 4. But I'm not gonna lie, I am a little more just hoping for a movie right now. I hope Don Mancini gets to make another movie in that franchise and tell another story. So I'm very here for it, man. Antonis, thank you for the $10, man. Run it. Make another Chucky movie happen. The remake's really starting to grow on me, too. I don't know how you guys feel about the Child's Play remake, but the kills are great. The kills are great. I think the other thing about the Child's Play remake, too, is I'm starting to appreciate it a little more, because I definitely like that better than the Chucky show. I went back to it recently, and I'm like, you know what? This wasn't that bad. Like, some of the character work, I don't know if I'm crazy about. Some of the explanations are a little out there for me, but I kind of was like, I vibe with this a little more. This has got a good sense of humor about it, so. Evil Connor's saying, hey, yeah, Tamara's right here. Just a sec. No. See, now I'm understanding the cringe that you guys are stepping in. I don't want to meet Tamara. I'm good. Infinite Sky's asking an interesting question. What was Jamie's motive in Red Right Hand for his murder spree? He wanted to make a movie. He wanted to make a movie that was so impressive that it was real murder. And he's like, oh, I'm going to advertise it like it's real murder, and like no one's ever done that before. But you know, Jamie has yet to hear of about those certain pages on Reddit that unfortunately show that shit. That's fucked up. It's really fucked up. But yeah, Jamie was he was very insane. He was just losing his mind. He wanted to make a movie that was so impressive. He wanted to be the best horror director ever, but he didn't want to put in the work. So what was he going to do instead? Kill all of his friends, because he's fucking crazy. He kind of spells that out in one of the little instances with his cameraman. Both of those scenes kind of exist to, you know, really flesh out Jamie as a character more or less, because he kind of gets robbed of his 3rd act little speech in the film. Luddy Network, thanks for the $10, dude. I hope there is a cult of Ghostface in Scream 7. You know, we have been talking about cult of Ghostface since like Scream 5 days, which is nuts. Will they actually do it here in this new one? Will that give Scream 7 the edge that it's so much so needs? It needs something to keep it fresh, to keep it original. So will they go down this route of a cult of ghost faces? So many ghost faces slashing people up. Well, here's what we do know, right? We do know that Kevin Williamson is directing, and one of his scrapped ideas for Scream, the Scream 3 idea, was that it was going to be like this entire film fucking, like all these film students who are Ghostface in the original Scream 3, that were all going to like pretend to be dead. They were going to rise up and be like, we're the actual killers, Sydney. Get fucked. Will they resurrect an idea similar to that for part 7? I think so. I honestly do believe with Kevin Williamson in the creative seat, this is a very likely scenario. You know, I've talked a lot about the Stu thing, but I'm kind of half joking. I'm not going to lie. You know, will they bring Matthew Lillard back for Scream 7? I don't fucking know. But would they do something like this, where it's like an idea that's been in the ether for a long time? The fans know about it. The fans are like, that would have been so cool for Scream 3. I think there are even some people out there who like that idea better than what we actually did get in Scream 3. And I'm not going to lie, I might be one of those. So will we get a Cult of Ghostface in Scream 7? I don't hate the idea. Honestly, I don't, because it would kind of be like Kevin Williamson finally getting to make his original Scream 3 in a way. So I'm kind of very down for that if we were able to do something similar. Even if it is exactly the outline that we all know about, would it be such a bad thing? Would it ruin the shock and surprise of that if they were to go down that route, even though we kind of already know what it is? I don't know. Me personally, I'm here for it. I'd be down to see it like actually fleshed out on screen more than just talking about it. So I'm down for Cult of Ghostface. I'm down to see that twist, you know, that has been talked about so many times. To actually flesh that out, to actually film that, see it on the big screen. I'm down for it. So, Luddy, this is very much so a real possibility. I'm down for it. I'm down to see Kevin Williamson, you know, make the movie that he wants to make. And hopefully there's not too much of the studio getting their grimy little fingers all over it. Let's hope. Let's hope and pray, man. Thanks for the $10, Luddy. I just really appreciate you, man. Hopefully I get to meet you someday, honestly. Would love to shake your hand, my friend. Denisha has been a member for 16 months. Holy shit. Thank you, Denisha. I appreciate your support. 16 months of drinking up Kool-Aid. Cobra Kai. You know what, Denisha, as I open up the channel to more topics, more possibilities in the TV and film world, maybe I will just cover this. Maybe I will just do it. Because I'm also a big fan of the Karate Kid movies. I watched those when I was a kid, so I love them from that. And I've never seen a minute of Cobra Kai, which is such a shame. I gotta watch it. I've heard very, very good things from Denisha, from Craven Something Scary. A lot of my friends on this platform, we've talked about it a lot. I'm like, I gotta watch it. Oh! So, absolutely, I'm going to try. You know what? Honestly, I'm going to try to cover that at some point. Try to work that into the updates if I can. I got to watch it first. You know, I don't want to talk about something I haven't seen, but I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it, Denisha. I'm going to make it happen. Thank you for being a member for as long as you had. Thank you for being a mod tonight. I really appreciate your support. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate the help. Thank you. Legion is saying, wouldn't have people thought it was like movie makeup with the blood? I don't know. I feel like Jamie kind of fucked up there on that part. That's the point. Yeah, no, Jamie is a massive fuck up. I wanted to create the not laziest Ghostface. That's not the word. I wanted to create like the most chaotic Ghostface, like someone who just did not give a fuck. He's doing everything the wrong way. I wanted you to feel that, oh my God, why are you doing that? Tension the entire time throughout the movie. And me personally, I do feel that with Jamie. I think he's really cringe. He's really, I would not want to be in the same room as the guy. Even if he wasn't a killer, I wouldn't want to talk to the guy. I think he's really annoying. I try to embody a lot of the things I did not like about movie commentary with the character. A lot of his takes on movies are things that I can't stand when I hear people talk about movies in a certain way. Cause a lot of his stuff is like very gatekeeping. Like he's very much so a gatekeeper. We see that happen with his friends. He's shitting on his buddy Christian at that little table. What's this? I can't remember. Shit, it's been so long since I've seen it. He says the thing to Christian or whatever, something along the lines of like, you're an idiot for liking this movie. And I can't stand that when it comes to movie talk. So I try to embody that in Jamie as a ghost face and his laziness, how chaotic he goes about doing everything. He's an idiot. And that was kind of the goal. We wanted to make the worst ghost face. Because, you know, I feel like the best Ghostface, he's already out there. You know what I mean? Everyone's so obsessed with who's the best Ghostface. I wanted to make the worst one, and I think I actively did that. so I'm here for it. Jamie's he's a character. He's a card, as your grandma would probably say. Jason has been a member for 15 months. Holy crap. Abigail was not a flop. It will be a cult classic. Well, unfortunately, it was a flop. It did not make any money at the box office, which is what I mean by flop. I don't mean that it was a bad movie. I really liked it. Actually, it's one of my favorite horror films of the year. But it made, like, barely its budget back, which fucking sucks. It's truly disappointing because I think it's one of the better horror films of the year. It rocks, and I'm with you. Cult classic status, it will absolutely achieve at some point in the near future. Because it rocks. I think it's a lot of fun. It's right up there with Ready or Not in my rankings for Radio Silence films. I'd probably go like Ready or Not is my number 1 from Radio Silence. Abigail's my number 2. Because I don't know, I had a blast with it. Really good film. Bloody, gory, character work was excellent, especially with its protagonists. Actually, fuck, Abigail was an awesome villain too. I don't know, there's really not too many characters in that movie I disliked except for the fella at the end. No spoilers, because some of y'all haven't seen the movie yet. But Abigail rocked, man. It just didn't make any fucking money, which is such a shame, dude. Such a shame. But Jason, thank you for being a member for 15 months. I really do appreciate you hanging out here. So thank you. Brandon Visconti, throwing $5 out there. Thank you so much for the support. What if in chapter 1, they kill her boyfriend, and then throughout the other 2 movies, she tries to hunt them down for revenge? I'd be so down to see that. I imagine you are spot on, my friend, because I believe that that's exactly what's going to happen here. I think chapter 1's probably going to be a pretty similar movie in terms of plot to the original film. One thing that gets changed, though, is at the ending. You know, our characters are tied up. They're about to get killed. Why are you doing this? Because you're here. Then Madeline Pesh gets out somehow after Froy Gutierrez dies, pushes the strangers down, gets the fuck out of there. Bam. On to chapter 2. We're left on a cliffhanger. I really think that's what it's to sum up the movie, super generalization of the film. I think you're spot on. I think that's going to be a generalized plot of what chapters 1, 2, and 3 are going to be. But I guess that if they do anything character-wise, I hope that they build up Madeline Pesh as a really good final girl. I think they have opportunity to do that if they go down that route. That's what I would want more than anything, is to create a really good final girl to go up against the 3 strangers, opposed to trying to explain who these killers are, because that takes all the fun out of it. I don't care. I don't want to know what, the man in the mask is doing after he's done killing. He probably takes a shower and jerks off. I don't know. I don't need to see that. Who wants to see that? I don't know. I want to see the guy killing, and I don't want to know any more than that. Hell, I don't even want to see what his face looks like. That takes away some of the mystique too, So, Brandon, I think you're pretty damn close to nailing what I feel like the story of this is going to be. We're on the same wavelength. Obviously, I haven't seen it yet. God, I tried to get a screener, let me tell you, but that's hard to do. Lionsgate movies, what I've learned through last couple of months, I've been trying to get more screeners for movies, and what I've learned is that there are some companies where it is tough. You just can't get a screener from them, unfortunately, and Lionsgate is one of those companies where they just don't really do that. They don't really give out screeners for a lot of their movies, which is a shame. So I'm seeing it with you guys probably Thursday night, so I'm excited for it nonetheless, Brandon. I hope you enjoy it, though, when you get to see it. I really do. Clint Jackson is saying, I'm Ghostface. And Sorry I'm Cursed is saying, no, I'm Ghostface. I'm Dirty Dan. I love it. I love it. What's up, guys? How you doing? Hello, Clint. Welcome in. Ryan Swayze is with us as well, saying, Jake, which is a horror movie you always watch on Halloween? I hate to be such a fucking normie of a horror fan, but Halloween. I watch it every 31st of October. I actually have not missed that in 5 years. I've consistently watched Halloween on Halloween for the last 5 years in a row. I watched something else too last year. I watched a couple of horror movies last Halloween, and I cannot remember what else. Trick or Treat is one I usually watch throughout the month of October. That's a must watch. Always got to throw that on. I like to watch some slasher movies too. I think those to me feel the most like Halloween-y. Terrifier 2, that's one that's been on my rotation lately. I watch that every October. I did just get done with a recent viewing of that though. So will I watch it this October? Probably, because the new one's coming out. So Terrifier 2 that's another one I watch every October as well. Great movies across the board. Trayvon King, how you doing, man? Hey, Jake, will you be giving us more of The Boys Season 4 updates? Yes, I will be doing coverage of that. I'm very excited for The Boys Season 4. In the past, I have not covered things because I was worried that people weren't going to gonna care, but I'm like, you know what? If I like this thing, other people ought to like it too. So I'm gonna start talking about all the stuff that I'm excited about. No longer just, spamming Scream updates as many times as I possibly can. I'm kind of like, you know what? I love Scream, don't get me wrong, but if I talk about it every single day, I think I'm gonna lose interest in this, and that would make me sad. So we're gonna talk about more things. More of the things that I dig, and hopefully I can build an audience on that. That'd be pretty cool. Because The Boys fucking rocks, man. Season 3 was sick. The Horror Den is asking, are you a fan of the 28 blank later movies? Dude, without a doubt. I've been covering 28 Years Later big time. I'm very excited to see what this new trilogy is all about. The cast looks sick, as I see you've already got to. Cannot explain how excited I am for this one. With Aaron Taylor Johnson, Jodie Comer. I want a trilogy, 28 hours later, 28 months later, and 28 years later. Well, you are getting a trilogy, my friend. We are doing 3 fucking movies. Holy shit. So far, we know that Danny Boyle is directing the first one, which is titled 28 Years Later. I think they're skipping months, so I don't know what's up with that. I feel like that's a missed opportunity. But they're doing 28 Years Later first. The second one will be directed by Nia DaCosta. That recently got confirmed, too. The Candyman director is tackling the second film in the trilogy, and then we don't know about the third one yet, so I'm excited, though. We got Ralph Fiennes in the film as well, part of the cast, and someone else just got announced, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's got a fucking awesome cast. Aaron Taylor Johnson's amazing, Jodie Comer, Ralph Fiennes. I mean, all these people are fantastic, so I'm very excited. We got a killer cast out here, so 28 years later, I think it's going to rock. We've also been on a cliffhanger since 2007 with these movies. You'll remember the last shot of 28 weeks later, which I don't care if I spoil a movie from 2007. Sorry, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's good. The last shot of that movie is a bunch of zombies running around in Paris, so they're taking over the world. What the fuck? We've been left on that cliffhanger since 2007. So I can't wait to finally get an answer to what is going on. Can't wait. It's going to be very exciting. Clint saying, hope you're well. Thank you so much, Clint. Appreciate you. I'm very well. I'm feeling fantastic tonight. Ella saying, I'm so not vibing with the redhead being in this role. Damn. What's wrong with redheads? That's what I'd say about that. I like Madeline Pesh. She's from like Riverdale, right? I think she's a good choice for being our new for being a new final girl. I don't know, but I feel it's all good. You can not vibe with people. That's all good. At least you're Dirty Dan, Ella. That's what I care about. Get into these super chats, but I real quickly want to say hi to my friend For the Love of Rock. What's up, dude? How you doing? A cult of ghost faces for 7 doesn't make much sense to me. With Sam being the target in the last 2 films and surviving, why would the group switch its target to Sydney all of a sudden? Because they fired Sam. Because they fired Sam. That's why. So, originally I had pitched the idea of the cult of Ghostface being all those Redditors that were a bunch of snobby incels who probably never felt the touch of a woman. That was my pitch initially for what the cult of Ghostface could be, but you can always spin it down a different route. Maybe they're a little more traditionalist. They want to go after the original final girl. I think that works, personally, but you might not, and that's okay. That's all good. We can spin it down many routes. Cults take many shapes and sizes, many different forms, so. I will say, though, For the Love of Rock, I would prefer the story that revolves around the Redditors going after Sam. I think that's a little more interesting, personally. I'm with you there. I gotta say. But if they want to do the Cult of Ghostface in 7, I wouldn't be against it. Going after Sydney, personally. So just my thoughts on it. Luddy Network's throwing $20 out there. Luddy, thank you so much for the support, man. I appreciate that. Brandon, I like it. Good Strangers prediction. Jake, fuck a Klondike bar. Let me see some dance moves. I mean, for $20, shit. I got to start shaking my ass, I guess. Hashtag how much? What you think about Deadpool and Wolverine? What a way to end that super chat. You're like, I gotta save face here. I'm getting too weird. I gotta save face at the end of this. I gotta ask a movie question. That's so funny, dude. You know what? I'll send you a video later. I'm kidding. Joking. But what do I think about Deadpool and Wolverine? I'm excited for it. I was kind of on the fence with the first trailer. Kind of gave me some typical MCU vibes, which was like, that's not really Deadpool, Deadpool's a little more R-rated goofiness. I'm excited for it. I really like the first 2 Deadpool movies. I think they're very funny. I've heard, some people that I've talked horror and just movies with in general were like, I don't know if Deadpool holds up. I think it does, personally. I think the characters and the writing and all that is really good. I know some people are kind of sick of Ryan Reynolds' humor, which I get. You know, they kind of overdid it a lot, especially with some of his newer movies. So I can't argue with that. If you're sick of his humor, I get it. You know, it's oversaturated for sure. There's no denying that. But I'm excited for Deadpool and Wolverine. I think this is where Ryan Reynolds especially shines the best. And now he's, you know, fucking doing a new Deadpool movie alongside Hugh Jackman. I mean, how can that be bad? I'm here for it, man. So I'm very excited for the film. I can't wait to see it this summer. It's gonna be fun. It's one of the only MCU movies I'm actually excited for right now. So, dude, I'm hyped. Well, I will be covering it on the page too. I don't give a shit. I'm talking about it. It's a movie I'm excited for. I love the first two, so I'm excited to see this one. I hope it's good. Luddy, again, thank you for the support for the channel, man. It really does mean a lot. It's been a crazy couple of months shooting a short film, basically spending all my savings on that, and you know, for you guys to be so generous tonight does mean a big deal to me. So thank you for supporting the page, everybody. You all are the best. So thank you again. Silver Princess is throwing 5 out there as well. Thank you, saying daily reminder: Roman is the strongest Ghostface. He does have the most kills, so you can't argue with that. He did it by himself as well. Or if you're someone who wants to believe the Angelina rumors, I dig that too. But as of right now, we know that Roman, what we think Roman did was all by himself, and I think that's pretty cool. So you got an argument. You got an argument, Silver Princess. I can't argue with that. My personal, like, if I had to say, like, who's the strongest Ghostface, I really think Mickey's up there. I think Mickey would be my number one choice. I love him. I love him to death. I think he's got a crazy fucking motive. Needed more screen time on that fella. Love him to death, though. Silver Princess, thank you for the 5. Appreciate the heck out of you. I will say that final fight between Roman and Sydney is awesome in Scream 3. That's my favorite scene in that whole movie. Those two going back and forth. It's great. Some great stuff there. Love me some Roman and Sydney fight sequences. Luddy's throwing $2 out there saying, Ella, you made him laugh. You made old Luddy laugh, Ella, and that's the best part about doing this shit, is making people laugh. It's always very fun. So I love it, Luddy. Thank you for the $2. Appreciate the heck out of you again. I want to get back to a comment from my friend JT Owsley. What's up, dog? How you doing, JT? Ty West has an idea for a 4th entry in the X series and has written a rough draft for it. Maxine is near, but let's not get ahead. Pearl is better than X because of how different it was. What you think? You know, for the longest time, I liked X more than Pearl. I mean, in my opinion, they're still pretty neck and neck. I think nowadays I'm leaning a little more towards Pearl, but I think my biggest thing about X that I liked so much is it's a slasher movie with really good characters. That is my biggest thing about slasher films. I'm like, if you're gonna make a slasher, make the characters good. That's such an easy thing to improve upon when it comes to slasher films, because so many of them in the past have just disregarded that. You know, it's like, these are meatbags, whatever. Who cares if we like them or not? No, that's important. So I've always thought, like, if you're gonna make a slasher film today, you know, in the modern age, you gotta have good characters or no one's gonna care. So for me, that's what really impressed me about X. On top of the excellent kills, the gorgeous cinematography, the score for that movie. No one talks about the score for X. I think it's so good. But Pearl rocks too. I wasn't as crazy about the characters in Pearl. I love Pearl herself. Like, if we're talking about who's the best character in the entire X franchise thus far, Pearl from Pearl. Yes, without a doubt. So I totally get that. I love Pearl. I love the music in Pearl. I think I'm just I don't know. I'm a little more inclined to the story in X, I guess. I'm just such a big slasher fan. So, but I think I like Pearl more nowadays just because Mia Goth's performance in that film is like blow your fucking mind crazy. But for the longest time, I did like X more than Pearl. But I'm just such a big slasher fan, you know. I just love them. I love slashers to death. So. But I love both, you know what I mean? I really do love both. And I'm excited to see Maxine. Will it be better than Pearl and X? I don't know. You know, I'm not 100% yet. I think with murder mysteries, here's my hot take on horror films that are murder mysteries. If you have a murder mystery and the reveal sucks, it ruins the whole film for me. Like, I'm like, if your reveal isn't good and you don't have much else going on, I don't really care. Scream 6 is an exception in my opinion because I really liked some of the other shit that film did, and I really appreciate a lot of the other things that it did, like I said. But with that, you know, the reveal in Scream 6, it's the biggest reason why some people fucking hate that film. And I understand it. Like, I really do get the hate for Scream 6 because, wow, that reveal was not good, dude. Ooh, easily the weakest in all 6 Scream movies, in my opinion. But I think that you can really make or break a That's kind of like, I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but any time that I'm talking about a murder mystery film, like if it's a horror murder mystery, like some people love those movies just immediately off the bat because it's similar to Scream. I get that. Trust me, I do. But if the reveal sucks, I don't care. Like Totally Killer, I was like, by the time we got to the reveal of that movie, I'm like, yep, guessed that character 20 minutes ago. Let's move on. Let's keep going. I don't know. That can really make or break murder mysteries for me. If the one thing that you got going for you is your killer reveal and then it sucks, I don't care. Doesn't do anything for me. Doesn't move the needle. So if Maxine can give us a good murder mystery on top of some other stuff, which is already prevalent in that trailer, in my opinion, sounds like it's going to have some awesome characters, a crazy good cast. I think this movie could rock. Could be one of the best horror films of the year, which is why it's easily one of the films I'm anticipating the most. It is easily in my top 5 for the rest of the year. Can't wait for Maxine. It looks awesome. So JT, I'm with you, man. I'm very excited for Maxine. Hope it's good. It's going to be hard to rank these movies if all 3 of them are good. I'll tell you what. It's going to be an interesting trilogy to talk about in the future times. I do hope we get a 4th one too, honestly. Maybe not about Maxine. Maybe about something else, you know? Antidus throwing $5 out there. Again, thank you so much, dude. Really appreciate your support tonight. When did you think we will get a real Terrifier 3 teaser trailer? Did you see the horror spider movie Sting? Some good questions. I think we'll get the Terrifier 3 teaser in July. Probably mid-July would be my guess. See, here's the other thing that's tough about Terrifier 3, right? So, if this was coming from a big studio, which it's not, then I would say 100%, yeah, we're getting it in July. No shit. That's how they do this with every big October release is typically end of June, early July. You get some kind of first inkling of marketing. Think the Halloween movies. I think that's a really good example. We always got the trailer around that time period for all 3 of those bad boys. It would make sense to kind of get something there. But because Terrifier 3 is releasing in theaters theatrically, through an indie company, it's a big event. It's one of the biggest indie horror events of the year, without a doubt. Will they market it like it's a big Hollywood movie, though? I think probably. It's tough to say because you can't really base it on the past couple of movies either, because Terrifier 2, was a very, very indie movie that just happened to explode. They came out with the trailer for that movie 2 years before it even came out. The trailer for Terrifier 2 came out in 2020, if you remember, and then the movie ended up coming out 2 years later in October of 2022. So when will the trailer come out? This is one of the toughest questions I get nowadays, honestly, for Terrifier 3. I do think they'll market it more like a mainstream movie. So right now, I'm guessing July, but I could be wrong. Maybe we get it. We actually might get it sometime in August or even September to promote the theatrical run. I don't know. I really don't. I couldn't tell you, Antidus. It's a great question for sure. Did you see the horror spider movie Sting? I did. Sting was, it's an interesting film. It's fun. I think it's got some really cool ideas. It hits on some familiar beats of other spider horror movies like Eight-Legged Freaks and I'm trying to think what else. There's I think it's got a great opening sequence too, with how the spider gets into the apartment building. I won't say any more than that, but there's a lot of things I liked about Sting, but it was a bit predictable. Pretty much every turn that it made, everything that happened with the characters, I kind of saw coming from a mile away. And it's well written. It's not like it's a bad, the writing in this movie is atrocious. No, it's just predictable. I kind of had it figured out before it happened, kind of thing. And honestly, I think the thing that sucks about that movie, it's not even that it's bad, but the thing I remember the most from it is when I saw it in theaters. I saw it for the Monday mystery movie at AMC or whatever. The thing I remember most is some lady behind us just basically commentating on the movie the entire time. And it was one of those things that at first was a bit annoying, but as it got on and I was kind of losing interest in the movie, I was more focused on her because she was hilarious. Some of the shit she was saying had me and my buddy Connor crying, laughing. We were cracking up. I'm usually annoyed at that shit, but honestly, she was pretty funny. 10 out of 10 performance from her. But I don't know. If you want a good spider movie, watch Infested, one of my favorite horror films of the year so far, coming from Sebastian Wieniawski as well, director of Evil Dead 6, which is in the works right now. So I'm very excited to see what he does with that. I loved Infested, one of my favorite spider movies ever. I fucking really dug it. Terrifying, fucking scary, dude. Sting was not very scary in my opinion, but ooh, shit. You want a scary spider movie, watch Infested. It's on Shudder right now. Give it a watch. But Antidus, thank you for the 5, my friend. Really appreciate that. Really good questions, too. Bring it up and under, not talked about as much movie and the Terrifier 3 teaser. I love it. So thank you for the 5. Silver Princess, our fellow Roman lover, love it. Silver Princess has come in here talking about Roman a couple times, which we love to see it. I want a Ghostface who gets caught and lives into the next movie and gets a redemption arc. I'm a sucker for reformed villains like Negan from The Walking Dead. Ooh. Okay, this is interesting. I would be curious to see this, and I think that there's a way that they could do it, where it could probably be like this moral, like controversial moral angle to it. So here's my thoughts immediately when I read this Silver Princess. Let's say Ghostface gets away, right? Kills a couple of people, gets the fuck out of Dodge. They get away. What the fuck is going on? You get the reveal at the end of the movie, whatever. Some of our characters are still alive, but the Ghostface has killed who they wanted to kill and got out. Now, this Ghostface just totally got away with murder. No one knows who did it. This person, works their way back into society. Maybe they even feel bad about the killings and, go back to the survivors and start talking to them and start becoming friends with them, which is really fucked up. And then maybe you could get the reveal of this person killed everyone. The survivors find out. Oh my God. Holy shit. That's fucked up. And then they got to do something about it. But it's like they're friends now. So it's like, what do we do? How do we handle this situation? Obviously the survivors are going to want to fight that character, but there's a emotional angle to it, a little bit of pathos. So I don't know. I think that could work. That could be an interesting movie. And once again, giving us a formula that isn't just the exact same thing as every other Scream film besides 6. So I'd be into something like that for a full movie. That could be fun. They try to get on this redemption arc. They try to be friends with the survivors. They have this guilt maybe deep down inside, but our survivors find out somehow and then have to take them down. That could be fun. That could be a really fun movie. I'd be very into that. So Silver Princess, I love the Negan comparison as well. Negan is an excellent villain, even though I kind of dropped out of The Walking Dead. You gotta love Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Come on now. I appreciate the 5. Thank you so much. And honestly, more than anything, even though I have my concerns about Scream 7, I hope you enjoy it. I hope everyone does. I really do, because I want it to be good. I'm a huge fan of this franchise, but God, I got my worries. Let me tell you. There's some things about the way that they're announcing everything right now that just has me worried about the film. I don't know if it's going to be good. I got to know a little more about it before I'm really certain one way or the other, though. So we'll just have to see. Silver Princess, again, thank you for the 5, as well as Antinous. Thank you for the 5, guys. Appreciate your support. What else we got going on here? What is your opinion about The Boys Season 4, Jake? Antonio, I am very excited for The Boys Season 4. I liked Season 3. I really did like it. It's not my favorite season of the show, though. Gotta be honest. I think Season 2 is still my favorite. I really liked the whole arc with our new villain in that season. I thought she was great. Oh my God, what the fuck was her name? I love, she's one of my favorite parts of the show, and I can't even remember. She was evil. She was so fucked up. Oh my God. Really good performance there. Boys Season 3, my only thing about it is I kind of feel like it was one big circle and nothing really happened besides what's-her-face becoming maybe the president in the next season. That was really the only thing that moved when you think about it. So that was kind of my only issue with it. It's almost like a lot of that didn't have to happen, even though a lot of it was really cool. The getting the temp V and all that I thought was sweet for some of our main characters, seeing them with superpowers, fighting Homelander. That was sick in Season 3. That was a very exciting moment of the show for me. Really enjoyed that. I guess I'm just hoping that Season 4 really pushes the plot forward. There was a lot of exciting moments in Season 3, but like I said, it's kind of just one big circle. We start in a certain place and we end in that same place pretty much for most of the characters, except for like 1 or 2. So I'm excited to see what else happens. I'm excited to see what else happens in Season 4. I feel like a lot of Season 3 too was setting up Season 4. So I'm almost thinking like I'm going to like Season 3 more after I see all of Season 4. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. But I love The Boys. It's such a great show. Anthony Starr as Homelander is genuinely one of the best villains on TV and movies, whatever right now. So very excited to see him do more things. And guys, if you have not seen the movie Cobweb with him and Lizzie Kaplan, you are doing yourself a disservice as a horror fan. That movie fucking rocked. One of the most underrated horror films of last year. And unfortunately, they dropped it in theaters for like one fucking weekend. What was that weekend, you might ask? Barbenheimer weekend. Who the fuck saw Cobweb in the theaters? Nobody, because of that. Crazy. Crazy. It's a great October movie too. It feels very much like it's like pumpkins are a big part of the plot and all that. I don't know why that they didn't release that movie in October opposed to July, but I couldn't tell you. Watch Cobweb. Sorry about the spiraling, but I love that movie. It was so much fun. So good stuff out there. Great question, though. I'm very excited for season 4. Legion is asking, Jake, have you seen this horror fan film on YouTube? It's called The Spider. I considered making a video about this because I liked it so much. This fucking fan film rocks. It is a horror take on Spider-Man. It stars Chandler Riggs from The Walking Dead. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. It's more of like The Fly meets Spider-Man in a weird sort of way. It's great. I think it's very excellent. It was kind of trending for a little while. I saw it like on my For You page or whatever. Give it a watch. I highly recommend it. Filmmakers there kicked ass. It's a very quick watch too. I think it's only like 10 minutes or so. So give it a watch. It's awesome. It rocks. Luddy, I'm getting to this. Let me take a sip of this bad boy. All right. Luddy throwing another $20 out there. Thank you so much, my friend, for the support. Saying, Jake, I can't remember what's going on with the next Saw movie. I absolutely loved the latest movie, primarily the character development and amazing storyline. In my opinion, second best Saw movie. Hell yeah, dude. What is your favorite Saw kill? So, little update on Saw 11. The latest update on the film is that they have moved the release date from September of this year to next year sometime. And, you know, it's a mixed bag, in my opinion. While I was really excited to get a new Saw film this year, I also understand that, you know, our creatives are older now. You know, a lot of these people that are working on the film are some of the people that were working on the original Saw movies when they were releasing them back to back every year. Like, it's crazy how they got those movies out so fast. But you look back at that time and you're like, I can't believe they did that. And then also, I feel like because they rushed the movie, not rushed, because a lot of those movies are good, especially the original Saw trilogy. I feel like because they were pumping movies out so fast, there is some issues with some of the later sequels. Like 4 and 5 especially, I think they don't feel rushed. That's the wrong word. You know what I mean? I actually feel like there's a lot of things with the continuity that really works about those first like 7 movies. I'm like, damn, you guys did a great job with how fast you were turning these out. My thing about it though is like, what if they had 2 years in between every film? Like, what would that franchise look like, dude? That would be insane. But also, you know, maybe that's part of the charm, is because every October we had a new Saw to look forward to. It's like, that's exciting. That was sick. That was part of why a lot of those movies made so much money, I think. So I don't know. It's something I go back and forth on a lot. Like, is it a good idea to move this release date? Is it not? I don't know. Whatever happens, though, I just want Saw 11 to be good, because I'm with you, Luddy. I think Saw X is one of the best in the franchise. I genuinely think it was terrifying. It was emotional, had some great traps, had some like bloody, disgusting moments. I loved it. I really loved Saw X. I've seen it a couple times, and I even made my parents watch it on Christmas. It was fucking hilarious. So, what is this new one going to be all about? I really think Saw 11 will continue the story from Saw X with Cecilia Peterson. I forgot her name for a second. I'm talking about so many franchises, man. I'm bouncing around up here. It's crazy. But I really think Cecilia Peterson will be back for Saw 11. She will once again be like our pseudo antagonist, because like technically John Kramer is not a good guy either. So I do believe she'll be back in some capacity. And Saw 11, Saw 12, which is also kind of confirmed to be in the works, I believe will center around this character, this little side quest that John goes on that we didn't know about during the events of 1, 2, and 3 while he was alive. So that's what I'm excited to see in this new movie for sure. And what's my favorite Saw kill? Oh, that's so tough. So the one that me and my friend like the best is the shotgun carousel. And we quote we quote the guy from it all the time, because see, me and my buddy Connor, we write horror films together, and we are both very much so have a dark sense of humor. So when the guy is, there's a moment in that sequence where it's basically determined that one of the characters is going to get a shotgun blast to the chest. It's really unfortunate. It's like a tragic sequence. It's kind of hard to watch. But he's screaming, "Look at me when you're killing me," and it's kind of funny. Like, it's a little funny, even though it is really fucked up. I quote that like almost every time I see the guy, because every time we play like a video game or something and like he kicks my ass, I'm like, "You look at me when you're killing me," and we just lose our fucking minds. So I think that's my new favorite Saw trap for that because of how much I quote it on the daily. We both love the Saw franchise so much, so Very weird little side story. I apologize to those who don't care, but that's my favorite kill for sure. Luddy, I can't thank you enough for the support tonight. Thank you. Really appreciate you hanging out with us tonight as well. And bring on Saw 11, man. Holy shit. If it's as good as Saw X, I'm here for it. Keep making them. If it's good, why stop? Why stop if something's good, Keep making Saw films until they're bad again is what I say. Marley Kai 2000 is saying, hey, Jake, how are you? Is there a horror movie or any movie that you think is overrated? I'm trying to think. I mean, honestly, in most recent memory, Five Nights at Freddy's. I feel like it's crazy overrated. But even then, there are things I appreciate about it. I think what's really cool about something I love about the film is that Emma Tammy directed it. She was like this nobody director. Not a nobody. That's really that has some harsh implications, right? She made some like smaller movies, like a Blumhouse Into the Dark film, which is like these are like this like little series that they have on Hulu where it's like just these movies that come out every month. They're usually lower quality, but they're kind of fun sometimes. Sometimes they're frustrating, but Emma Tammy got to make this movie, and now she is the most successful female director of a horror film. That fucking rocks in Jake's book. That's awesome. So I really appreciate that element to it. I don't feel like it's a very good adaptation of Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, I remember playing that original game and being so scared. Like, I played that game back like when it came out in my room with the lights off and throwing my phone across the room because the fucking jump scares get you so bad. And then, they make this movie and the jump scares are like for babies, dog. Like, what? I'm like, as every jump was, you could predict it when it was going to hit, man. That's the worst way to do a jump scare. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. I don't know. For me, I'm like, that was always one of my favorite parts is those creepy animatronics jumping out at you, and they were just kind of trash. So I don't know. I feel like Five Nights at Freddy's crazy overrated. It was not a very good adaptation of the source material, but I do think it's a very good adaptation of a MatPat video to the big screen, and I think that's why a lot of people dig it. And if that's what you were looking for, if you were looking for a movie that was just like Easter egg, Easter egg, Easter egg, Easter egg, well then yeah, it's fucking awesome. But I don't know. I was kind of hoping for one that feels a little more akin to the video games, but I guess in a weird sort of way, it does make a little more sense to adapt a MatPat video to the big screen because I think a lot of people who are into Five Nights at Freddy's are more so into the lore of it that MatPat and Markiplier kind of go into in their videos, which is crazy to think about, right? Like a lot of the fans of this game don't even play it. They just watch videos of other people either talking about it or playing it. So it's a strange situation. You know what I mean? It is a very strange situation, but I don't know. It's one where I have my opinions on it. And I get why people like it, but it is not a good adaptation of the video game after all. So, Field of Screams podcast. I will never get over how much I love that name. Like, you have such a good name for your podcast. I can't say it enough. Like, I have KillJoy Jake. I hate that. I'm gonna be honest. I would, if I could go back and tell myself 4 years ago, don't name it KillJoy Jake, I would. You sir or ma'am have a fucking killer name. I love it. I just Field of Screams. It's awesome. How would you rank The First Omen, Immaculate, and Abigail? Ugh, some of y'all are going to fucking hate this, but Immaculate, Abigail, First Omen, I don't even have to think about it. I loved Immaculate. It is still my favorite horror movie of the year. 10 out of 10. Holy fuck. Excellent script. The sound design is so fucking crispy in that movie. The best I've heard all year. Goddamn. Sydney Sweeney fucking rocks in the lead role. The side characters are amazing. I've never been so like allured into him. I sunk into that movie like it was an evil pond. Immaculate, it's immersive. It's so efficiently written. I love everything about it. It was great. Abigail, while I had some problems with the plot, they were little things. I don't give a shit. So much fun. Such a fun movie. I had a blast with it. I love Radio Silence. God damn, I can't get enough of their movies. And then The First Omen, I feel like is a little like, I don't want to say overrated. I think it's because it didn't really do well at the box office. It does have its fans though, which makes me happy. But it just wasn't my favorite of the year. It's currently like in the middle of my rankings for 2024. It wasn't a bad movie. Like, I will not say it's a bad movie, but it had problems, in my opinion. The First Omen, I think the biggest problem it has is trying to be an Omen prequel. If it was a standalone, like if The First Omen was its own thing, like just a one-off movie in its own little realm. I think it's great, but it's a Halloween Ends situation where I just don't feel like it was a very good Omen prequel. It didn't really explain much. It showed us things I just didn't care about. The ending was so fucking weird. The third act is really what kills it for me. Whoa, yo, hey everybody, we got a big horror update, everybody. Pause, take a second. Yo, oh, we got some big 28 years later news. Hang on. Field of Screams, excellent question, though, my friend. So here, let me read this for you. Coming from Discussing Film 28 years later, will release on June 20th, 2025 in theaters. Holy shit. Oh, that's exciting. Summer release date for a big zombie movie. Dig it. Starring Jodie Comer, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Ralph Fiennes, and Jack O'Connell. That was the other fella I couldn't think of earlier. Ooh, we got a release date, ladies and gentlemen. June 20th, 2025. You heard it here first, but of course, Discussing Film had it before me. So, got to give credit where credit is due. But, holy shit, that's a big update. June 20th, 2025. For 28 years later, a film we were just talking about. That's awesome. Great stuff. Ooh, exciting. Field of Screams is saying, damn, I love the first Omen. Hopefully that just means the other two are just that good. So, you know, it's a strange situation with those other films that I was telling you about. So what was I going to say there? I really liked the first Omen. Don't get me wrong. Like, you know, it's definitely better than, like, it's way better than a lot of the movies that came out this year, because there were some stinkers. Really all of my issues that I have with it all come from the third act. Like, the first two acts were fucking awesome. It's great setup. I also think Nell Tiger Free in the lead role was fucking awesome. But a lot of the stuff that it does in the third act, I just didn't care for. That's where we got into the kind of the minutia of connecting it to the original film. And I'm like, what? Like that? Why are we doing this? There's one thing in particular, too, that really just like was the last nail in the coffin, which I don't want to say, but for those who haven't, because I know some people haven't seen it, but what I will say is Cabin in the Woods or Cabin in the Snow. There we go. That's what I'll say for those who have seen the film. That was my biggest issue with it. I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is how we're ending it? That I just am not crazy about that ending. That like actually almost ruined the film for me. But Nell Tiger Free, awesome performance. My favorite scene in the whole film is the nightclub scene. I thought that was excellent. Some great character work there. A lot of the scares, I don't know, just weren't super impressive to me. Just felt very The Nun 3, in my opinion, which is why I put that on the thumbnail. Some people were pissed about that thumbnail, which is really funny to me. But I don't know. I enjoyed the first Omen, but I felt it could have been a better Omen prequel, is my point. But it's an interesting film, and I will say the director of it, Arkasha Stevenson, I will be at her next movie because her direction was another one of the best parts of it, which I know, saying the best part of something usually only means one thing. But two things I loved about it: Nell Tiger Free, loved that nightclub sequence. This is three things now. I don't give a shit. Arkasha Stevenson's direction. Loved how she directed all the characters. Great performances across the board. So lots to love about the first Omen, though. Don't get me wrong, but just wasn't my favorite from the whole year. Really good, really excellent direction of characters, though, without a doubt. Holy shit, Luddy's throwing another $20 out there. Dude, thank you. Oof, sorry to inform you on this. On your own podcast, but we love you and your channel name, brother. Field of Screams is cool too. Well, hey, I appreciate it, man. That does mean a lot. My thing about KillJoy Jake that I don't love is I named it that because I was gonna be an ass. I was gonna be like a heel character on the internet, which is I don't know why I would want to do that. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be like this asshole who spoils movies and like I'm like a dick. Like that's so funny to me. And I'm like, why the fuck would I think that was a good idea? That's, KillJoy, someone who spoils shit. Like that's literally by definition what that means. I don't know why I wanted to do that. I thought it's a really dumb idea now that I think about it now. But the name stuck. I was like, okay, there's a bounce to that. KillJoy Jake. You know what I mean? There's like something that I kind of liked about it. So I kept it. I was like, fuck it. I vibe with it. But but I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it, even though I don't. I see. I'm such a perfectionist. My partner was just telling me, she's like, you know you're a perfectionist, right? Like, not everything has to be perfect. And I'm like, I know, but I can't help it. I typically tend to hate anything that I create. Like, I hate Red Right Hand. I hate it. I wish I could have done better. But even then, for $5,000. Like it's impressive. It's impressive for what I was able to make with no fucking money. But then again, I look back at it and I'm just like, fuck, I wish I could have done this better. I wish the sound design was better. God, the sound design sucks on that fucking movie. But I wish I could have made, there's so many things I wish I could go back and have more time to do or this and that. But you're always going to feel that way is what I've realized. You're always going to feel that way about projects. If you don't hate the thing that you create, you're doing something wrong, frankly. So I'm just always trying to make things better, always trying to improve, so. I guess that's where I'm at with it. But I'm glad that you like it, Luddy. That makes me happy because I'm constantly trying to make things that people dig. So that's if that's happening, then shit, mission accomplished. I love it. Luddy, thank you for the $20, man. And fuck yeah, Feel the Screams podcast, that rocks. I love it, man. So thank you. Thank you for the 20 again, and thank you for supporting the channel tonight. I really do appreciate you. Feel the Screams is like, thanks Luddy, and thanks for the original compliment, Jay. Hey, yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Of course. I gotta actually turn the podcast on. I'm gonna be honest. You come in the streams, you hang out with me. I gotta listen to your podcast. I gotta check it out. So send me a link. Let's make it happen. Ty Lee is saying House of a Thousand Corpses is basically a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I want a Dr. Satan prequel. Me and you both, dude. I feel like that movie couldn't have been made back then, but we're getting more brutal movies in theaters these days. And an unrated cut of In a Violent Nature in theaters, baby. You're fucking right, Ty. 100%. So why not do that? Why not make a Dr. Satan prequel? Here's the thing, though. If they were to do that, like a House of a Thousand Corpses prequel, they would do 3 of them. Because that's the MO nowadays. Why make 1 when you can make 3? Make it an event. And, the biggest reason they do that is because, theaters really aren't getting a whole lot of love these days. So, we make 3 new movies in a popular IP. Well, that's going to secure 3 visits to the theater from multiple people. So, I get why they do it, but sometimes there are some franchises that don't need 3 movies. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if we need 3 Dr. Satan prequels. I'd be down for 1. That could be really fun. Fuck yeah. But I love House of a Thousand Corpses so much. It's my favorite Rob Zombie movie, even though, listen, Devil's Rejects rocks, but something about House, I just like it a little more. I don't know. It just rocks. Even though the best thing Rob Zombie has ever done to this day is the ending of Devil's Rejects. That is one of the most iconic moments in Thousands horror without a doubt. So, gotta love that shit. Ella's gotta go. You gotta go to the library before they close. Very nice. Love y'all. Bye, Jake. Ella, enjoy the library. Get yourself a good book or something. I would love to read more, find more time. God damn, I love reading. I bought a book recently that I've been meaning to read. It's the Phantasm book, which, if you guys don't know about this, the somewhat popular horror franchise Phantasm kind of just had a new installment, in the form of a book written by Don Coscarelli, who of course created the series back in the 70s or whatever. But there's a new book. It's called Fiction, spelled with a PH, and it's a bunch of short stories within the universe of Phantasm. I've yet to read it, but I've heard so many good things, and I'm like, this is gonna fucking rock. So I can't wait to read it at some point. But I love reading. I don't know. I guess that's my point. Ella, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. And enjoy the library. Romello is saying maybe if Stu is in the movie, he won't be the main killer. For all we know, he could be helping to a degree, or a killer, but not the main. Almost like a Hannibal Lecter situation where he's in jail, assisting everybody. I mean, that idea has been pitched a few times. I think people just want to see Matthew Lillard in the film. And in which case, why not just have him play a different character? I mean, he's an old man now. he's not an old man. He's not that old. But he looks older. You know what I mean? We could totally have him play a professor at the nearby university or a fucking doctor or something. You know what I mean? We could totally have him play a different role, and he's just not Stu. I'd be into that. I love Matthew Lillard. What's wrong with more Matthew Lillard? You know what I'm saying? Fuck yeah. So I'm here for that. Instead of the Firefly trilogy, it's the Larva trilogy. I like that. I think that's funny. I run it. Prequel series, the Firefly, the Larva. That's really, wow. Clever, Ty. You're such a card, as my grandmother would say. I made that joke twice. I gotta stop. Marley Kai is saying, could we ever get a video on cooking with KillJoy Jake one day? I make some mean shit in the kitchen, let me tell you. I just made some pasta yesterday, that fucking rocked. I make some mean pasta. I also make, my best thing though is my chicken parm. I'm gonna be honest. Like, you have not had a good chicken parm until you've had a KillJoy Jake chicken parm. That's all I'm saying. I make a mean chicken parm. I make a mean chicken marsala. I make a lot of Italian food. That's really it. I'm going to be completely real with you. I love making pasta. It's my favorite thing to do, pretty much. Yeah, if you, shit. Maybe one day. Maybe I'll talk about horror movies while I'm cooking, while I'm making food actively. That would be really funny because it would just be like sweating, running around the room, going crazy. Have bigger pitters than I have right now in this green shirt. I bet I got some bad ones. Ooh, not really. Like a little bit. Oh, right there. There we go. Yeah. It's on the side of me for some reason. Ugh. That's gross. Why am I showing that off to everybody? I don't know. But sure, why the fuck not, you know? Oh, fuck. It's getting to that part of the stream where shit is getting silly because old Jake is, it's been a long week, let me tell you. But ladies and gentlemen, I got a very fun update video coming out tomorrow. I just could not get it edited in time for today because it's a big one. Talking about a bunch of shit. Monkey Paw Productions has a new movie coming out called Him, which was originally titled Goat. We have a release date for that now. What the fuck else did I talk about? In a Violent Nature, the Poppy Playtime movie, and Lord of the Rings, all in one big video. So, lots of exciting movie updates from this past week that I kind of amalgamated into one big video. Basically, what I've been doing with everything else. So, I'm very excited for you guys to see that. It's gonna be fun. Donovan Martin saying, just saw that Melissa unfollowed Nev. Ooh. Drama in the Scream world. Oh no. Will I cover that? I don't know. But welcome in, Donovan. Thanks for hanging out with us, dude. Garrett Peck is saying, thanks for being a channel member too. Thank you again. Italian food is the best, so I don't blame you. It is. Pasta fucking rocks, dude. What do you think I'm eating after this? Pasta. Leftover pasta from yesterday, dog. I love me some pasta. I can't eat enough of it. It's great stuff, Garrett. Gangster Bro, what's up, dude? How you doing? Jake, what would you think about a prequel series based on All American Massacre? We get to see Chop Top's past through the 1960s, his time in Vietnam, and even new stuff from TCM2. I fucking love that idea. Would have loved to have seen All American Massacre, but this is not a bad idea. Horror properties are getting a lot of revitalization lately. We're seeing life given into just a lot of movies that kind of sometimes deserve continuation. Sometimes I'm questioning why these movies are getting made. Like 28 years later, right? This is a movie that I feel like a lot of fans would love to see because, like I said, we've been on a cliffhanger since 2007. 28 years later, fuck yeah, I'm down for a trilogy of movies in that franchise because there's a lot of story to tell there. Fuck yeah, run it. 3 Strangers movies, I don't know. Like, is it going to be worth it? I hope so, by chapters 2 and 3, but we'll just have to see. This, on the other hand, give a little bit of insight into Chop Top's past. That would be very cool. I think the biggest problem with that is that Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, the majority of people are not crazy about that film, believe it or not. I love it. I think it's great. But again, do the masses want to see some kind of extension of that? I don't know. That's the thing. That's the thing that's really tough about it, too, because I personally think Texas Chainsaw 2 rocks. It's a favorite of mine, but I am in the minority there, unfortunately. Some people are not crazy about TCM 2 because it is such a departure from what came before it. And it weirdly kind of fucked up the franchise, too. But that's a whole... I'm not getting into that here because it's a whole thing. But I love TCM2. I think it's so fucking fun. I would love to see something like this where it's like talking about Chop Top's past, maybe even some of the other family members too. So fuck yeah, man. No, I would want to see that. I would fund that movie if I had the money. That would be cool. Gangster Bro, I dig it, dude. I dig it. TJ is saying, Jake, what is your thoughts about Scream 4? A lot of people dump on it. So, I think for the longest time, I said that Scream 6 was my favorite sequel. I kind of want to rescind that because I think Scream 4 is still my favorite sequel from the whole lot. I love Scream 4 to death. I think it is so much fun. I think it has the sharpest commentary of any of the sequels. I also think it has some really brutal kills, some interesting characters, and one of the best killers in the whole franchise. I don't know. There's not a whole lot to hate about Scream 4 besides that gross little filter and the weird opening scene. But besides that, any of the meta humor is laid on a little too thick. But I don't know. It's got little issues here and there. But Scream 4 rocks, man. It's one of those movies where the positives outweigh the negatives for me. I can't say that about every Scream sequel, but for Scream 4, it works for me. I love it. I think it's a really fun sequel. I kind of like that it's a weird standalone. 2 in the franchise. Like, you know, you can kind of look at 5 and 6 as its own thing. You can kind of look at 1, 2, and 3 as like its own story. 4 is kind of just this weird little outlier right in the middle. You know, some people like to rope 4 with 5 and 6 together, but I think they feel different. I think they're different films all in all. So I love Scream 4. Fuck, I might watch 4 after this. I'm not even gonna lie. But I'm here for it. That filter sucked and kill reveal was good. So here's my thing about the filter, right? I understand it looks gross, like it's disgusting, but it is also done on purpose. You know, they were trying to make it look like the thousands remakes of old classics, which Wes Craven was very much so trying to do like almost like a parody or commentary on with that film. So that's kind of why I appreciate it. Like, does it look like shit? Yes, but that was also kind of the purpose. You know what I mean? But that starts getting into some messy shit with film. It's like, if you're going for shit, well, then why am I watching? You know what I mean? There's so many different angles with that. But I kind of vibe with it. I'm kind of like, this is kind of cool. I have also seen people edit Scream 4 where they like make it look good, and I'm like, oh shit, this movie could have looked really good. I'm like, oh, ugh. Now I'm kind of with this filter sucks gang, you know what I mean? But I do appreciate it for what it's trying to say. It adds on to the commentary. It's I think the thing I like so much about Scream 4 is it's so passive aggressive. Like, it is such a it is Wes Craven being pissed off, and it's his final movie that he directs too. Like, what a way to go out. I don't know. I think Wes Craven killed it with his final little his jam there. I love it. Four rocks in my opinion. What do you think about Brooke Maddox from the Scream TV series? She's my favorite. Oh, who did she play again? Okay, hang on. Because, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I've watched the series. Oh, okay, that character. I remember now. I've seen the show. I've seen seasons 1 and 2 twice now. I've tried to watch season 3 a couple of times. I kind of just skimmed through it. Season 3, I'm just not crazy about season 3. It doesn't do it for me. I've seen seasons 1 and 2 twice all the way through because I really wanted to, you know, absorb it. I talk about this for a living, so I kind of wanted to really vibe with it. But I don't know. I think the characters are just not as good as the movies, which is my biggest thing about it. Even though the kills in the show fucking rock. Like the kills in the Scream TV show, if you haven't seen it, it's worth it for that alone. Like, some of the kills in the TV show are better than the movies. I gotta hand them that. I gotta be like, shit, that's pretty cool. Some of the reveals too, I think is really interesting in the way that they do it. There's one reveal, which I won't say which one, that I feel like is a little like you can kind of guess it. Season 3's killer, you can guess from a mile away. From the first episode, you can pretty much figure it out. but I don't know. There's things I like, there's things I don't like about the Scream TV series. That character was good. I agree. I see that one I can see that being a favorite for sure. I completely forgot who you were talking about. I'm like, oh, I couldn't remember, Bangs or no Bangs? But I don't know. A lot of the characters from the show just don't really stick out to me like how they do in the movies. I think that's my biggest thing about it, you know? I do like a lot of the show. I think there's some really interesting elements to it. Killer reveals are good for the most part. But yeah, I don't know. Cosmic Urgency, what? Scream 4 commentary makes no sense. A sequel that comments like it's a remake and the murders aren't remakes of the originals, but the characters keep claiming they are. And why target Sid in a remake? I think I'm going to be honest, I think you're overthinking it a little bit. It's not that they want to like remake the movie. It's that Jill wants to be famous. Jill wants the fame that Sydney has. And that kind of bleeds into the commentary there. You know what I mean? It's not like direct, like, oh, we're trying to remake a movie. You know, that's a little too in your face. But then again, Scream 4 is a little in your face with some of its meta jokes. I think it's more so the idea that Jill wants to be Sydney. She wants to be Sydney. She wants to have the fame. She wants to be the survivor of a massacre, but she has to create that massacre herself. She was a big inspiration for Jamie, for instance, from Red Right Hand. I love that idea. Like, she has one of the best killer motives in the whole franchise, in my personal opinion. I get that some people aren't crazy about it, but in my opinion, it works a lot better than being Sydney's secret brother and then being angry about it in the background, and then being a movie director, but you're still angry that your life sucks. What? Roman makes no sense in my opinion, but Jill fucking rocks. I don't know. I think she's so fucking gross. She's just a disgusting little human being that is so fame obsessed, is going to do anything for it. And I don't know. In my opinion, Scream 4's commentary is way ahead of its time. Like, we have people nowadays that I could see becoming Jill Roberts in real life. I can't see anybody in real life becoming Roman Bridger. So that's my biggest argument when it comes to Scream 4. One of the most realistic killers in the franchise is Jill Roberts. I can't say that about most of the other ones. Well, I can say that about Mickey, and I can say that about the killers from the first movies, first couple of movies. But I don't know. Jill rocks in my opinion. One of my favorite killers. She's so fucking evil. She's like just definition of a bitch. Emma Roberts kills that performance in my opinion. But all right, y'all. I think I'm gonna talk. I think I might watch Scream 4 after this. Y'all, we've been talking about it for a good like 20-ish minutes. Kind of feeling it now. Fuck. I might take a shower and watch Scream 4 and go to bed. That sounds wonderful. Fuck it. Yeah, I'm running it. Absolutely love all you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Appreciate you dudes. Appreciate the support too. Holy shit. Really, thank you again for all the super chats. Y'all are great. I will have an update video for you guys tomorrow morning on all the things I was just talking about. You know, talking a little Jordan Peele produced movie, Lord of the Rings, In a Violent Nature, a bunch of stuff I want to talk about. So check that out tomorrow if you want, or don't, you know, make old Jake cry. That's fine. I will be live again on Monday of next week, or actually, you know, questionably Monday. I got some stuff going on Monday. I might not be live. I don't know. You'll either see a live or a video that day. I haven't figured it out quite yet, but you definitely will see another stream of me talking about The Strangers Pray at Night with some buddies on Wednesday of next week in preparation for The Strangers Chapter 1 coming out next week. And then next Friday, we will be talking all about Strangers Chapter 1, which I'm really excited about. So go see the movie Thursday night if you can, or maybe Friday evening, and then come stop by the live stream next Friday at 7 o'clock. I'll have a review video out before that, and then we'll be talking about it live. I will say we will be talking spoilers, so if you will not have a chance to see the movie before that, maybe avoid that live stream. But if you can see the movie, come talk Strangers Chapter 1 with us next Friday. It's going to be a very fun week for the channel. I can't wait. Big release next week. Those are my favorite weeks to do this shit, let me tell you. So we got Strangers Chapter 1 next week, and then In a Violent Nature 2 weeks after that. Luddy Network, thanks for the $10, man. All the love to you, my friend. Thank you for the support. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Have a nice weekend, everybody. Be safe. Drink responsibly. If you drink, you know, if you party a little bit, just do it safe. Just don't drive. Don't do any of that crazy shit. Stay safe. All the love to you guys. Sorry about the Midwestern goodbye. Don't forget to kill it out there, everybody. Peace out.